I don't give a fuck about what offshore degen gambling sites think about who's going to be the next Bama coach. No one, absolutely no one knows anything about it.
We are live, by the way.
Damn it.
Welcome.
Why'd you
No, it's
start it
actually
then?
that's a good way to open, actually. Welcome to the West Coast Draft Podcast. As
I'm back,
always, Beau
baby.
Gleason. Rob's back from Houston and New Orleans,
And Dallas.
um, and Dallas, where it was a rough week for the Huskies, which we'll probably break down a little bit
And
more
it's
on the college
probably
football
not
pod.
over. But
It's
my
probably not
little my
over.
little segue was about the weirdo betting markets on who's going to be the next Bama head coach. But
Yeah.
let's get into what we're here for, actually.
We're here to
Some
talk
NFL.
NFL, and there's a lot of NFL breaking news. By the way, of course, Daniel is also here as always on our NFL pods. Daniel, how are you doing today, sir?
Hello. I'm chilling,
Black
man.
Monday
How does
has
it
passed
feel?
us.
Yeah, Black Monday's passed us. And by the way, Daniel, the first playoff game in the history of Ford Field. How are you feeling?
Oh,
I'm pumped, man. I'm excited for that
oh
game.
man, ouch.
I mean, it's reality.
That's a rough stat, man. And he's the only one with the team in the playoffs.
That is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
ironic, huh?
Yeah, but there you go. There you go.
Ben
It
Johnson,
was.
get ready to speak Seahawk.
No, you guys can have Aaron Glenn though.
No.
What do you mean,
Wait,
dude?
wait, what
I
do you
was
mean no?
telling,
He's
I
the
was
most popular defensive coordinator in the NFL,
Oh,
no,
by
but
the
dude,
why
guys,
don't
way.
we
guys,
go
I
on
was
another?
telling Bo earlier, and I can break this down a little bit more later. But Aaron Glenn as a DC is terrible, but as a head coach, he would actually be kind of good.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. Actually, before we're gonna do
If he were
NFL
like a
Week
CEO,
18.
I could get behind that.
That's fair. We're gonna do NFL Week 18 breakdown. Then we're gonna do a Black Monday breakdown.
Oh, very
Hop in
fun.
here, talk about all the different openings, all the different head coach interview
Don't show the
requests.
Seahawks one because I haven't seen any yet.
We're gonna make some predictions too,
Yeah,
and then
so fun
we'll get
story for
rolling
the
on wild
listeners.
card. Yeah.
I have been sleeping probably for the last 40 out of 48 hours. So um I slept through the Russell Wilson trade. I also slept through the Pete Carroll firing. I slept through the Nick Saban retiring, and I slept through the Belichick firing as well.
To be fair, I also slept through the Belichick firing because it was like broken at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. So
Hmm.
I was also asleep.
Join the club, baby.
No, actually, it was funny. I was just chilling, and literally someone walked in because I immediately I get out of bed and I walk to my workstation. And I had someone walk up to me and be like, "Hey, did you see the Belichick news?" And I was like, "Oh, did he get fired finally?" Like jokingly, and they were like, "Oh yeah, actually." And I was like, "Oh." So then I checked Twitter and I was like, "Oh yeah, look at that, he did get fired
Nice.
or parted ways, I guess." But um,
We know what they really mean.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Are you
Daniel,
ready
how
for
did you
some
find out that the greatest
football?
coach of all time is parting ways with the greatest organization, classiest organization outside of the Green Bay Packers in the NFL?
How did I find out?
Hmm.
Actually, I'm trying to remember. I think I stumbled upon it because I'm trying to remember what happened this morning because it was earlier this morning that I found out. No, you know what it was? It was a Tom Grossi video that popped up
Ah,
on my YouTube feed. And then I looked it up on Google to confirm it. And yeah, before lo and behold, Belichick got let go from the Patriots.
there you
And
go.
yeah, today's a day of mourning for that.
You know what? Today is in the past, there was a probably 16-hour period where Nick Saban retired and Bill Belichick and the Patriots parted ways, like within 16 hours of one
Yeah.
It's
another.
going to be a trivia question, you know? That's a
Hmm.
trivia question. What day did Nick Saban and Belichick leave, you know?
Hmm. And if you extend it to 24 hours, you get Carroll, Saban, and Belichick all in one, which is
But
wild.
came back home to this nice bottle of vodka that I won at White Elephant. Probably will be drinking it tomorrow.
Yeah. Whenever it gets finalized. Or doesn't get finalized. Who knows?
And
Maybe it'll
I'll
be a
hey,
celebration drink.
that's champagne. That's champagne.
That's champagne. Yeah, that's champagne.
I will go
But
buy a bottle.
well,
Cheap
yeah,
stuff though.
it's yeah, for sure. Yeah, don't need to break the bank on something that, hopefully
On it, hey, fending off Bama
betting off Bama
would
would
be
be
a is It's for 2 years in a row. It's pretty big.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, but we got NFL action to talk about. Then also, of course, we'll break down wild card weekend because one of our teams is
Super
playing in it.
wild card weekend.
Super wild card weekend. Sorry, NFL, for not marketing you correctly. Um, we got a
Yeah,
slate of
that's
games
very much
here.
a stop trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah, no, it's been wild card weekend since it was a thing. Just because you added two more games doesn't make it super wild card
Just because you
weekend.
inflated the playoffs with bad teams doesn't make it super.
Yeah,
If anything, it makes
although
it lesser. It's not the quality I've seen in my
is
career.
this the year a 7 seed beats a 2 seed? We'll find out later.
That'll be
But
interesting.
Well,
I think one of them has a chance. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that after we break down the last week of NFL regular season action that featured all of our teams. But we're starting on Saturday between just two of the most absolutely just classiest, well-respected organizations in the NFL. Just, real do it the right way, blue collar mindset in both these teams. And I can't wait to see them both lose their first playoff game. It's the Steelers going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, a Ravens team that was literally starting no one, literally no one. They actually didn't field a team on Sunday, and they still scored 10 points on the Steelers. Um, Saturday, sorry, joke fell apart there. Um,
Gotcha.
then the Steelers started Mason Rudolph, so they basically did the same thing. So they won 17-10. In the process, lost TJ Watt for what seems like a significant period of time. Don't worry, it won't be 1 week and you'll be done. So, but yeah, Steelers, I guess, played a Ravens team that had nothing to play for, and there you go. Funny story, not funny story, but like fun fact about the NFL season this year. The Ravens, or not the Ravens, sorry, the Steelers went 10-7, but 5-1 in the AFC North, the best division in football.
It's
The Bengals
and
went
they
nine
and they
and
swept the
eight.
Ravens, didn't they?
They swept the Ravens, they swept the Bengals, and they split with the Browns on a last second field goal make by the Browns. They could have been 6-0 in the AFC North. And let me do the math right here. Five
five
and
and six.
seven or 5-6. 5-6, you're right. In all their other games. And that's kind of funny to me. So the Steelers are not built to play outside the AFC North. They are the exact opposite of the Bengals, who went 1-5 in the AFC North and 8-3 outside the division. So there you go. That's why we didn't make the playoffs. We play in the best division in football. I'll keep making excuses though. Me and Daniel talked about this on last week's pod.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, not much to talk about here. Steelers took care of business against the Ravens team that was literally playing no one. Mason Rudolph still only threw over 152 yards. There was like 8 total fumbles in this game because there was like a torrential downpour in Baltimore. It was hilarious. Not much to take away from this game, to be honest with you, though. Other than that, congrats to the Steelers. Pop the confetti, I guess. You guys are going to the playoffs to lose in the first round to the Bills. Any thoughts on this one, gentlemen?
Ugly.
No, man. Steelers just do Steeler things. I don't know what else to say.
They're the ultimate. They can't keep getting away with this. Actually, so are the Packers. That's why we talked about literally the Packers and the Steelers are just the AFC NFC versions of
Green
each
Bay
other.
at least has losing seasons in the last 10 years.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin kept his streak going.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about at this
That's all I
point.
cares about at this point.
Oh yeah.
He might not have had a playoff win since 2016, but by golly, he had a
Oh,
winning
that's
record every
rough.
single season in between
I
then.
didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah,
And
no, it's
and the
bad.
last one was the meltdown game.
No, the last one was the divisional round game against the Chiefs,
Oh,
actually.
dang it.
But
Oh
you're right.
man.
The season before was the meltdown game.
I thought that was 16, not 15. Dang it, you got me.
No, actually, you know what? In the 2010s, like the whole decade, the Steelers had 2 playoff wins.
Wow.
If you don't actually, okay, never mind. Actually, I guess the 2010s include the 2010 season when they went to the Super Bowl. Between when they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Packers. And no, three playoff wins. Sorry. So when between their Super Bowl loss to the Packers and now, they have won three playoff games. That was the meltdown Cincinnati game. That was a game against the Matt Moore Dolphins team in the wild card round, and that was
Oh, the
the
Matt Moore game.
and the divisional game round game against the Chiefs that convinced the Chiefs to take Patrick Mahomes.
Hmm.
So there you go. Not a lot of playoff success in Pittsburgh recently. Which kind of gives you an idea. Now, granted, they had the New England Patriots buzzsaw in the way for most of that decade, actually all of that decade, but we'll get into the Patriots buzzsaw when we discuss the Patriots. But getting into Houston, Indy, a lot more fun game, a lot more interesting game with a lot more at stake for both teams in this one. Gosh, CJ Stroud is so good. He's so good. What a fun
He's
player.
he's awesome.
What a
Told
fun
you,
player.
Bryce Young
I'm not
sucks.
I'm not taking the L on Bryce Young yet. I need to see him with a real coach first. But CJ Stroud's really good. CJ
How
Stroud's really
can
good.
you do you still think Young will be better eventually than Stroud? No,
No,
okay.
I
So I'm
don't. I
taking
don't think
that
he will
victory
be.
lap. I'm taking that victory lap
Yeah,
then.
that's fair. That's fair. But I still think Young's going to be better than Will Levis.
That's fair. What about AR?
I
TBD?
just I haven't seen TBD on AR.
Yeah, yeah.
TBD on AR. But Stroud is so good. Stroud's going to be awesome. So,
He's the next generational quarterback.
mhm, which is crazy too, because I mean, don't get me wrong, like I like Stroud, but I never thought of him like that. But man, he's been
He's just played
fantastic in
like every
Houston.
game's against Georgia right now.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's like the bigger the game, like the bit better he plays, unless it's against Michigan.
Ooh,
And which is funny because that's game's called the big game, but um, actually no, that's just the game. Big game is Stanford Cal. Never mind. Whew, he escaped one there. Um,
yeah,
where was I going
they
with
don't
this? Oh
even
yeah,
need
we'll
any
see.
qualifiers for that game.
We'll see with Bobby Slovic potentially going get an NFL head coaching job though.
It is too early for him. That's not, I wouldn't take him. It is
We'll
too
see.
early.
We'll see. Everyone loves that Shanahan tree right now.
There's a tree I want to poach right now, and it's not that one.
Bobby Slovic. What
There's a
tree do you
tree
want
I
to
want
poach?
It's the other side of the ball, baby. It's the I want McDonald.
McDonald. I like that. No, I'd like that, and I especially like getting him out of the AFC North too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would appreciate that
Fuck
hire.
it.
But
If we don't get McDonald, if we get Ben Johnson, I'd do everything I can to get Minter from Michigan.
mhm. It's not a bad call, actually. It's a pretty good call. I mean, so far a good track
I want to
record
run
of
that defense. I want to run that defense because it's working. It's what's
mhm,
confusing the best offenses in the NFL and college football.
mhm,
Like both the Ravens and Michigan aren't head and shoulders absurdly talented compared to their opponents, and they are just shutting people down with how
mhm.
silly they made UW look in the Natty. You know?
Yep. I don't know if McDonald's gonna have options. McDonald will
Yeah,
be a head coach in the
yeah,
NFL next
yep.
year. We'll
Oh yeah.
see. And I wouldn't be surprised if wherever he ends up going, he's able to convince Minner to come be his DC, especially if Harbaugh leaves.
Yeah. Well, what I think I could see happening is I think Moore's going to get picked over Minter, and Minter's going to leave disgruntled. I don't think he'll stay at DC if Moore gets the job.
Oh, Moore will get that job because I
Oh
mean
yeah.
he was the interim when Harbaugh was out, so it's gonna be more for there.
Yeah. Oh, if we keep DeBoer and then Michigan comes open and we have to do the song and dance again. Oh,
Just wait, it's gonna
I
happen.
hate Jimmy Sexton so much.
Um, on the indie side of things, man,
They did a Will Nixon.
they should have They literally did a Will Nixon. Although I
Yep.
think at least with the indie running back I'm forgetting the name of, Minshew did throw it behind him a little bit. Now it was still very much catchable, but he threw it behind him. Nixon just straight up dropped that shit. It was horrible. Horrible
I didn't have a
drop.
good view on that one. I will never watch that game again, at least not for a long time. I did
Horrible
watch.
drop.
I did watch. I did end up watching Super Bowl 49. Years
A,
later, but
a classic. It was basically the classic start, get your eyes up and look downfield
yeah,
before you look it into your body, and it was
that was the game killer because we were still down by 7.
hmm hmm I think the game killer was the holding call on Rosengarten.
That
That
was
shit
a
was
bad
horrible,
holding call.
horrible
Bad
call.
holding call, especially when you haven't called it all night.
Yep, yep.
Oh, I know what call you're talking about, bro. That killed all our momentum. And the thing with these
hmm
refs too is they like holding happens so much. It's like they just kind of pick and choose whatever holding penalties they want to call. And of course, of all the holding they could have called, it's like one of the weakest holding calls you'll see. And of course, it's on a deep completion,
hmm
from
The
Michael
the
Penix.
the
So
the the defender tripping, he didn't even get pulled, but it made it look
hmm
like he got pulled.
yeah,
It
like
was
it's such a
it was
it's,
a really bad one. It
it's a
was
terrible
bad.
call. And the game was done from there because Michigan would they would get the punt and then they just score a touchdown from that. So
hmm Yeah,
dumb
yeah.
shit.
I don't want to talk about that game anymore, man. We'll talk about it
I
on the
know.
CS College podcast next week, but man, this
Should
don't
talk
want to
about
I'm
the
just
getting
make.
more
Bengals game,
depressed.
man. You might
We
have
will
some.
talk about the Bengals. Let's get into some good news.
We
The
were
Let's do
we
it.
Bengals
were
won a
I don't know.
divisional game.
I'll wrap it up with this.
Okay,
We were
yeah.
we were down 7 in the fourth quarter, and we could have had an epic Bama Georgia comeback, but we blew it, and the refs blew it, and we weren't
Exactly.
deep enough either. Yeah.
No, no. Um, Same with Colts. They also could have had to come back, and they blew it because Minshew slightly underthrew a wide open running back in the flat.
Yeah, he was open. It was schemed well. You know, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It's hard to know if that was the design and maybe the running back just went
I
too deep
think
on
it
the
was the
route.
design. I think it
Yeah.
was, especially with how quick it went out.
hmm So that
But
makes me think the running back just like
I don't
slightly overran
love
it.
throwing it to your backup running back on the play
Right.
for the season. That's scheme up something for Pittman.
hmm
I
Or even,
don't
it's
like.
4th and 1. Like, shoot. I mean, if you want to put everything on the line, run it up the cut with Taylor. It's 1 yard.
Yeah, personally, I'm always, I don't love on a must-have play a run just because I like having options. But the
hmm
same thing goes for a schemed one place only throw.
hmm
That's a tough one. But big shout out to the Colts and the Texans. But the
hmm
Colts, we'll have more to talk about the Texans, but the Colts, we thought they'd be the worst team in the NFL, and they were really good as a very untalented team.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Shane
Steichen.
Steichen. There's a lot of coaches
That's
that
an
deserve coaching.
Oak Ridge Trojan, Shane Steichen, by the way. Not many
Really?
people. There you go. He's Folsom's biggest rival. He was actually
Yeah.
on Oak Ridge's
I thought
team.
the Grizzlies were your biggest rival.
No, the Grand Bay Grizzlies, no, they're not. They're probably like our second biggest rival, but no, Oak Ridge our biggest rival.
Okay.
He was on the team at Oak Ridge when my brother was playing on Folsom's team. So my brother played against Shane Steichen
Wow,
in the
that's
past.
awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a little fun fact for you, but
That is a
he's
fun
turned
fact.
into a damn good coach in the
Let's talk
NFL.
about your team. Let's talk about the old
The
Jeff
Bungles.
Driscoll special.
That's true. This is a Jeff Driscoll revenge game, or not revenge game. It would be because
They
um
lost.
they lost. Jake Browning.
Why
Browning had a
didn't
good
Joe
game.
Flacco start? Were they just resting?
They're just resting him. Yeah,
Elite quarterback, Joe
elite
Flacco.
quarterback. It's so
I
funny.
do believe Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback.
We got to the point where Joe Flacco is getting benched in week 17 to rest for the playoffs. That's who would have thought? Who would have thought in early November that would be the case?
Oh, it's
Unreal.
awesome, man.
Unreal.
What a
Um,
season.
yeah. So, oh, here we go. Actually, okay, this is actually not breaking news per se, but just the Athletic confirming the 3 candidates
Yeah,
for
I've known
Bama's
that for
job.
hours.
Okay,
Let's move
fine.
on.
Fine. It's Reese, Norvell, and DeBoer, like we all knew. But anyways,
And it is not going to be Reese, I'll tell
it's
you
not gonna be
that.
Reese, yeah.
It's only Reese if they both decline. But
Right.
I feel like, well, you know who also has gotten some smoke, which I was like, there's no way this is real. Have you heard this one?
No.
Uh, Mike Loxley.
No, that's not. No.
I
Come on
know. I
now.
was like, what?
No.
He's barely not getting fired. Talia's in the portal.
Jones.
I was waiting for it. But Jones is about to get fired at Arkansas State. I don't think he got fired, by the way.
He
I
did
think he's
not know they went to the bowl game.
yeah, and they only lost. That was actually very sad.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, talking about the Jeff Driscoll not revenge game. I'm just glad the Bengals finished with a winning record. The first 2023 AFC North first division since the 1935 NFL West to
Wow.
all finish above 500. So claps for that. Um, yeah, finished with a winning record. Yeah, we hurt our draft position a little bit. You know what? I'm
Worth it.
glad we didn't get swept by the Browns. I'll just say that. We got swept by the Ravens, got swept by the Steelers. I'm just glad we didn't get swept by the Browns. I don't care that they were resting their starters. I don't care. We had Jake Browning out there, fucking quarterback. We were basically resting our starters too. Get over it, Cleveland. Get out of your own butts. Um, and yeah, I mean, Bengals were up 31-0 at halftime, and then put their backups in. Allowed the Browns to make it 31-14, and you know. Browns obviously didn't care anything about this game. When they were down 31-0, they were cutting to clips of Myles Garrett laughing on the sidelines, which made kind of served as a reminder of how little they cared about this game. But I don't care. I'm glad. Fuck the Browns. You're going to lose to the Texans. Actually, we'll see. I don't know about that one. But
That's be a fun one. That's be a fun
that
one.
will be a fun one. That will be a fun one. Stroud's actually playing this time because when the Browns killed the Texans back in week 16, I think it was, Stroud wasn't playing. So that was
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much everything I gotta say about that game. I doubt either you guys have much to say about that game.
Not nowhere near as much as you. They showed a picture of Jake Browning's girlfriend, and she's hot.
oh, oh yeah, oh yeah. The main story to come out of this one
It
on
was.
an
It
on
was.
a league wide basis. Um, yeah, and pull it off. Um, Vikings Lions. You want to take this one,
Take the
Daniel?
floor.
Vikings Lions. All right. So about the Lions, secondary sucks. D line's limited. Linebackers meh. Jared Goff, he's meh, but he's a dog. I respect him for that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, elite. Sam Laporta, injured. I hope he comes back on Sunday. You could need him. Running game, pretty good. O line, good. Am I missing any positions? Kicker, sure. Punter,
Long
amazing.
snapper.
Shout out to Jack Fox, Lions punter, best punter in the NFL.
Long
Like,
snapper.
long snap. Dude, Don Muhlback used to be our guy. Cut him unceremoniously last year, but he was our long snapper for like 20 years. It's kind of a legend around, the Lions fan base. I forget who our long snapper is now, but he's doing okay.
Dude, he was there for 20 through these last 20 years. Poor guy. Jeez.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Let me be. My team is in the playoffs. What are the Seahawks doing? What the hell is Will Disley doing, man? He's sitting on the couch crying. He's being a little
Will
baby on the
Disley scored a
couch
touchdown.
crying because he doesn't get to
Will
torch the
Disley
Lions
scored a
again this
touchdown
year.
against the Cardinals.
He did score a touchdown against
Obligatory.
Cardinals.
Fuck the Seahawks. I love you, Rob, but fuck the Seahawks.
No, it's all
Anyway,
good.
anyway.
Daniel's
Yeah,
just mad because he picked the Seahawks to cover last week.
I appreciate your boldness with the Tennessee Titans pick. I appreciate that one.
we'll get to that Seahawks game eventually, but bro, you still owe me that bro date from when I
Oh,
got.
it'll be coming, dog. It's coming.
Yeah, it better be. And the Panthers game. Honestly, that one even more because you made fun of me for predicting the Panthers that week. I still remember that. You made fun of me, and then
Yeah, I still can't believe that. I still can't believe that worked. That was a bad choice, but it worked. You're good at just picking random games that I don't think there's a shot, and not that they cover, that they win outright.
well, yeah. I don't know. I guess it was kind of random, but my thought process was the Falcons are terrible, and of
And
course
they
they're going to
are.
blow a game. Why
Yeah.
not blow the Panthers game? Because it's the Falcons. I can't call them that anymore because Arthur Smith's gone. But obviously, when he was there, they were the Falcons. Using
Just wait till
John.
Bill Belichick's their coach. You're
All
gonna be
right,
so
anything else to
conflicted.
add from this win against the Vikings?
Yeah. As for the Vikings, they had a lot of injuries this year. Honestly, if the Vikings were healthier, I think they would have been a little more competitive
Hmm.
throughout the season, but they got really unlucky, which is kind of fitting considering they were extremely lucky last year, and they just kind of got Murphy's Law a little bit this year.
Mm. Oh
So
yeah.
I mean, fair
Their
play to them. Like
defense.
Justin Jefferson's the dog, man. Like Viking,
Oh yeah.
if the Packers always get generational QBs, the Vikings always get generational weapons.
Hmm.
That's a good one.
So
Um,
they're good, man. They'll be coming around next year. Honestly,
Hmm.
division next year, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota are all going to be jockeying.
and then you got Caleb Williams on the Bears.
Possibly, yeah.
We'll see now
Bears will be
though.
pretty
They
competitive.
retained Eberflus though, so
Hmm.
who
But
knows
they did
anymore?
fire the entire
Yeah,
offensive coaching staff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
The Bears are kind of not a good choice for
will
him.
Caleb want to go to Eberflus?
I mean, who even knows, man? Like, I will say, I think the Bears could draft Caleb Williams. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be good on that team.
No,
Like, because the
they're
Bears
not there yet.
already they're already terrible at developing quarterbacks, and if they get like kind of a diva personality in there, it's likely that not only he won't get developed properly, but he'll let them know about it and just make the whole situation worse.
I think the diva personality might be a little overblown, but I was told this by someone who's been around a lot of football. And he was specifically talking about receivers, but also mentioned this about coaches. But like, the most important thing about a receiver coach is, being able to handle the divas, right? But I think just for athletes, pro NFL athletes, especially really good ones, they have some diva in them. There's a very well just, profession like, consummate professional. A good coach handles the divas. And I don't know if Eberflus has that. I really don't.
He doesn't.
They really should.
He's kind of a
I think
doormat
they
from what
really
I've
should have
heard.
fired him. I think they made a mistake by not retaining him. They need an
Mhm.
offensive coach with Caleb.
I've
Agreed.
heard that Eberflus is a bit of a doormat in Chicago, so I don't.
Yeah, that's just not a good team, and they play in Chicago. It's a curse.
Hmm.
But I mean, to kind of close that game though, like I don't have more thoughts to say about the Lions until we get to the playoff predictions. I think that's a little bit more relevant because I mean we were fighting for the 2 seed in this game, but it was pretty unlikely. But still good we played
You
ourselves.
were gonna need Dallas and Philly to lose. It was
One of
Hmm.
them did.
one of them did. Yeah,
We were
that's true.
close, so
The other did not.
Another did
other did
not even
not.
come close.
But anyway, moving on to the Jags
One
Titans.
thing I have to
I,
say though,
oh,
I
okay.
just
What's
love
up?
what Brian Flores has done with the Vikings defense, especially compared to
Oh, good
last year.
guy.
It's
Yeah.
very fun. It's fun. It's still not. It's definitely more like league average now, but it's really fun to watch.
Hmm.
Yeah, that Vikings D is kind of barren, but Brian Flores made them pretty competitive, honestly. They definitely got an upgrade over at Donatello
Oh
last
yeah, they're at the
Yeah.
cutting edge with a lot of the NTTs, and he loves the 7 people on the line look, which I think is fun. But
Hmm.
NTTs are like a non-traditional Tampa, so it's. I think we've talked about this before. It's just
Hmm.
really fun schematically. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Just
that
need to be a
Jags
little
Titans
more
game, Bo.
a little more yeah, talent in the secondary in Minnesota, and
He
I
made
think,
Harrison Smith into a good player again.
yeah.
I
No,
forgot he
Harrison
was in the
Smith was
NFL.
awesome this year. Harrison
I,
Smith was awesome this year.
I forgot he was in the NFL.
There's the
An
defensive
old man
captain
now.
of the in the Rashard Mendenhall Bowl
Yeah. Oh yeah.
for Team White.
Not TJ.
Um
Not TJ.
oh true, never mind. Yeah, I gotta get TJ in there.
There
Gotta
can be
get TJ.
two. There can be two. I think
There me
Harrison
too.
Smith might be calling play calls though.
He might be the only one who plays in the secondary,
He might
so
have that green dot.
he's
Cooper
gotta get the
DeJean.
green dot.
See,
Yeah.
you gotta go into half people for a lot of secondary help.
Yeah. 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 Riley Moss.
I know. I
Get the
remember Kyle Hamilton.
2022 Iowa secondary.
Kyle Hamilton shut down the I'm on Team Black. This is the goofiest thing that ever happened. It's one of the dumbest things to ever happen.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's see. Oh yeah,
Shout
Jacksonville,
out.
Tennessee. I'll actually go ahead.
Uh, no, you go first. But I was going to say
I was
this.
just gonna.
I thought
I was
this
just.
saved Vrabel's job, and I was wrong about that.
You did not. It did not. I was gonna let Daniel lead on this because he was very committal about this being his
Mm.
upset. A big like he was firm, like he was confident in this call, and he was right. So I was gonna let him lead off.
Take it, Daniel. It's all yours, buddy.
Dude, I called this upset from a mile away. A
Hmm.
mile away. You know why? Because in this league, there's always some wacky upset that happens in the last week of the season. And it's kind of always the teams that maybe you don't expect on the surface, but historically you've seen them kind of blow these sorts of games before, and you kind of realize they're a candidate to make some weird shit happen on the last week. And
Hmm.
Jacksonville fits that bill perfectly. Also, because Trevor Lawrence has low key been kind of trash the last couple weeks. I think he's still going to be their franchise QB, but they should not have played him with his injury. That really screwed him over, and that screwed the Jags offense over in turn.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, yeah, they really didn't do that well. It's in Tennessee. It's always hard to go on the road in a playoff clinching scenario. Tennessee is a bad team, but they're still well coached. I mean, we'll probably get to the Vrabel
They
shit.
were well coached.
They were well
They
coached.
were well coached. They were a well coached team, and they still had Derrick Henry. I don't know what's going to happen with him this offseason, but he played a good game, man. In a way, it kind of felt like it was going to be his last game for them because he kind of crushed this Jags team, and I don't know, man. Like in any division rivalry like this, you never know what's going to happen. And this game to me, out of all these games that were going to be played, like that game just screamed upset. It screamed
Hmm.
upset,
Derrick
especially
Henry
with the Jags
has.
falling off the way they have the last few weeks.
Mhm.
I had to pick the Titans, man.
Derrick Henry has had an insane career against the Jags. It's something about him
Oh
against the
yeah.
Jags.
He owns them, man. He really owns them. Honestly, that
He's
was
had. I
his
feel like he's
breakout
had two
season.
99 yards against the Jags
He has. He
on
has.
like Thursday nights.
Yeah, yeah, that was mostly on Thursday nights too. Yeah, 99-yard runs just up the
It's
gut.
like the Jalen Ramsey stiff arm. Derrick
Man,
Henry, prime Derrick Henry was something else, man.
it's crazy to think. But the run that kind of made Vrabel was that 2019 run where they beat the Ravens for one seed Ravens in Baltimore. Took
Dancing.
the
Well, that was after they beat Brady's
and
last.
they and those Brady's
That
last
was
game in
wild
New
card. That
England.
was wild card. Yeah.
And then they went to Kansas City and they gave the Chiefs, I mean, a run for their money in that
Hmm.
game too. It was not easy for the Chiefs. So that was kind of the run that made Vrabel. And guess where we're at now? Ravens one seed, but Vrabel out in Tennessee. And Belichick out in New England. So it's kind of funny how these things kind of act cyclically in a way. But um yeah, so long, Mike Vrabel. You're going to be a great coach somewhere next year, but we'll talk about that in the next segment. As for the Jags, you're right, Daniel. I should have seen this one coming. I was confident they would, play well in a spot where they knew they had to win. Um, they just have not been a good football team for the past 6 weeks or so, and I should have considered that more. So for that, I I grant you points, I guess. I don't know. You did good. You
I'll take
you
the
you
Stanley
outsmarted
Cup.
me on this one. You know what?
The GOAT, Daniel Lisenby.
I'll give him a little
I'll take
applause.
my
How about
Stanley
that?
Cup for the year.
Speaking of Stanley Cup, this game has nothing to do with that. I don't know what I was going with that segue. Jets Patriots.
Belichick won his
Actually, you know
last
what? You
game.
know what? You know why this is a segue? Because I was reading a power rankings earlier that the Winnipeg Jets is the best team in the NHL. Okay, there you go. There's the segue.
Wow.
Anyways, yep, Bill Belichick's last game in New
Nice.
England.
Got to win against the team he spurred. How much more poetic could have gone?
Then they lost.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Jets won by 14 points.
Was I misreading it?
Yeah, Jets 17, the Patriots 3.
No.
Bro, you and
No.
I were so confident that New England was going to win this game too because they always beat the Jets. And then, of
I
course, the
figured it was
Jets.
gonna be Belichick's swan song. He'd go out on top. Nope. Bailey
Exactly.
Zappi. Actually, you know what's funny? Bailey Zappi had 88 passing yards and was this game's leading passer. So that means whoever the Jets starter was had less.
Oh, Trevor Simeon.
Trevor Siemian had
Okay, boys.
less.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I missed a lot of games because I was at the CFP big like the big convention center event.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is one of the ones I missed. That's why I thought Belichick won.
That's all right. It's all right. I honestly forgot this game happened until it came up on the screen here. So you're good.
The only
Um,
real notable thing from this game was there was a blizzard.
There was a blizzard. That was cool. I remember when I had on Red Zone. I saw it when they'd call back over to it. I like that it was a snow game. It was a classic snow game too.
I love a snow game.
Yeah, it was a good one. It wasn't like the little lame flurries and they called it a snow game. Like, no, this was where the snow was coating the field. It was beautiful. It
That's
was a
awesome.
work of art.
No,
Honestly,
any
maybe.
Calvin Johnson face mask full of snow though. That's the goat snow
No,
game.
no, that was the best snow game. That was the snow game.
That was fun.
No pictures. Dang it, I was hoping there'd be pictures. That's okay. Um, breaking news. January 7th in Foxborough, Massachusetts is gonna be cold. Um,
What? Ugh.
Ooh. Let's
Let's talk about
see.
this. Let's talk about this fun game though. That was coming up. And it's like an
Um,
old timey, weird, like evenly talented teams divisional blowout, running up the score at the end. I loved it.
literally running up the score because
I know. No, literally. I saw that.
Dennis Allen told him to take a knee, and
Was it for
Jameis
like an
Winston
incentive?
said no. I mean, I think oh yeah, it was. It was to get Jamal Williams an incentive. Yeah. Um,
That
and
was
Jameis
awesome.
Winston, the team was like, no, we're gonna
I
run up the
love
guy here with
Jameis.
Jamal Williams.
I love Jameis, man.
And Dennis Allen and Arthur Smith was heated about
Oh
it after
yeah.
the
Oh
game.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That
And I
was
remember because I
awesome.
literally, because you could kind of pick it up on the mic. He was like, what? He was walking over to Dennis Allen. He's like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Like
What's your
you hear
deal,
it on the
man?
mic.
What's your deal?
Yeah.
The old classic.
Yeah.
Whose side were you on for that one back in the day? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The Harbaugh, Schwartz.
No,
Oh, not Harbaugh Schwartz?
that's Harbaugh Pete Carroll
Oh, is it Harbaugh Pete Carroll? Which one was that for? What
from
game was
USC
that?
Stanford. The one
Oh, USC Stanford. Oh, that's
they
way
did a
back when.
2 point conversion to put 50 on them.
Ah.
That was
Ah.
Pete's last year, I think, at USC.
Well, I was probably rooting for Harbaugh then. So,
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like,
um,
what's your deal? If he it's just the voice he does it and it's very funny.
yeah, but let's see. But yeah, anyways, so Arthur
I love a
Smith,
good run up.
yeah,
I
Arthur
love a good
Smith, certified clown. You know who's even more of a certified clown though? Dennis Allen, because he didn't stick
yeah.
up for his players.
This was the Clown Bowl.
This is a
The
clown ball. This
clown
is two
ball.
coaches that should have been fired, but only one of them did.
I can't believe Arthur or Dennis Allen didn't get fired. There's been some head scratchers. Good coaches have gotten fired, and bad ones have kept their jobs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what was funny about this game though was the Falcons were up 14-7 at one point for most of the first half. So I was rooting for the Falcons to win the NFC South from max chaos. Just absolute max. Like imagine an Arthur Smith team getting a home playoff game. You know what I mean? And then the Saints just had to go and ruin it.
Hmm.
They just had to put the brakes on them, you know. And just,
Fun fact, I guess, about the Falcons is they have had they every year of Arthur Smith's tenure, they finish with the eighth overall pick. So
That's
every single
crazy.
year of his tenure, they were the eighth worst team in football. At least he's consistent. Um, I'll give him
Is he going to be
credit.
the next OC in New England?
If that's where Vrabel goes, yeah, probably.
Did their GM get fired?
New England or Tennessee?
Uh,
Atlanta
no,
or Atlanta.
Atlanta.
No, Atlanta did not fire their GM.
Good, because
thank
he
God,
was
both
not
are
the
not still
problem.
there.
No.
He drafted good players.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're just used horribly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's
But that
fun.
was a fun interaction at the end. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was a fun little play that they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they got it done. It was, I mean, they wanted to
It
have the
was a little
Tyron.
Neil sweep.
Neil Sweep, man.
That was
Keep
awesome.
that. Keep that in the playbook for when you need a trick play in a big game next
I
season.
don't I don't know if I'm too mad at it's a no win situation for Dennis Allen saying, yeah, I called that. You lose probably a lot of respect in the coaching circle or not going to bat for your players.
What I would do, I would I shoot, play it both ways. I'd tell Arthur Smith, hey, I didn't call that, my players called that. But then I'd go to the media and be like, my players called that so that Jamal Williams would hit his incentive. That's how tight this locker room is. Like I would put it like
Oh,
that.
that's a
Everyone
good way of
wins.
saying it.
Everyone wins. Because then you could say, hey, it's not my fault that this happened. If you're pissed about it, it's not my call, but frame it in a good.
Russell did something similar a couple of years back. It was actually for some reason we like have consistently had the last game of the regular season at Arizona. It's really
Hmm.
weird. But we did a little jet sweep pop pass to David Moore to hit a targets incentive or
Hmm.
receptions incentive, and Pete was pissed.
Hmm.
That was that was Russ's last game, maybe, or it might have been the year before. I don't remember. I don't think it was Russ's last game. I think David Moore was gone the year before. But I like those getting incentives. I always remember seeing Derek Marks on like a Thursday night football for the Jags on like a bad Jags team, getting like an incentive for 6 sacks and like doing like the craziest. He's like some random defensive tackle and did this like crazy money celebration. Look up Derek Marks real quick. Do you remember?
Derek.
Do you know how to spell that? I can spell it for you.
I think so.
Yeah, you got it.
Some Derek Marks with his sack
Incentive.
celebration.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, that was so funny.
See if I can get the video up.
It was just goofy. I was just watching some random like they always sacked Charlie Whitehurst. Let's go.
Some Derek Marks. I do remember that name now, actually.
That's probably why, because he was just some totally random defensive tackle.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, it
We
was
got a
game
video on
winning
Jag.
too. It was last minute.
Oh man, he was really hyped then.
Oh, I hate these team sites. They suck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a 15-second ad before we get to anything. Um,
I think Gus Bradley was the head coach that year. Oh, he
what's that
did
Thursday night football
nothing.
game? Yeah, and Ngakwe
That is
forced
the
him up in the
lamest
pocket, and then
sack
he had to
ever.
clean up, and then he had to clean up, but Ngakwe is the one who made it happen.
Oh, there's Chris Clemens. Let's go. Legend. Charlie Whitehurst clipboard. Jesus.
Bortles, let's go.
Is that Mike Munchak?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
think
that's
And
not.
then there's
I think it's Mike Malarkey.
Malarkey.
wait, what was this 2014?
It
Yeah,
had to have
because
been
That's Ken
2014 because
Wisenhunt.
Bortles
Ken Wisenhunt was the Titans coach that year.
or Ken wasn't on. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. So yeah, this had to be 2014, and it couldn't have been 2015
there's
because
DeMarco
2015 was
Murray.
the year the NFL was making all the Thursday night games color rush, and the Titans would have had their gold color rush jerseys on. So this had to be
Uh,
2014.
Titans, you mean
Or
Jags
sorry,
and
Jaguars.
Mustard.
Yeah, Must they were gold.
Say
But
they
yeah.
were that was Dijon Mustard, while the Rams were definitely
Mhm.
normal mustard. Okay, geez, we are like not even
Yeah, we're we're
halfway.
we're we're dragging here. We thought NFL Week 18 was gonna be boring. Here's a boring game. Tampa, Carolina. Tampa won on 2 field
Playoff
goals.
bound Tampa Bay Bucks. Baker Mayfield, comeback player of year? I think so.
He's up there. He's up there. Eagles,
Oh wait, no, we all know
Buccaneers
who it's
is
gonna be. We all know who
yeah,
it's gonna be.
it's gonna be Demar. It's gonna be Demar. Or is it gonna be Elite Joe Flacco?
Ooh, that's tough now. He's like played in a quarter of the year too.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Demar's played in a quarter of a game.
Gosh, we have just Gino winning it, and then whoever's going to win this year has just completely destroyed the meaning of the comeback player of the year. Because like people were Gino was a great story, but people were very correct in saying, what did Gino come back from being bad?
Being bad, yeah. The year before was Joe Burrow. Just never forget. The year before was Joe Burrow. That was a guy who deserved it.
Yeah, we have just completely destroyed the value of the comeback player of the year.
Is Joe Burrow going to be a two-time comeback player of the year award winner next year? No, because he's
Yeah,
going to be the
is that the
MVP.
best? Is that the best awards he's got coming?
No, he's going to
Was
be the
he?
MVP next year. That's
He
why.
wasn't offensive rookie, was he?
No, he wasn't because he got hurt his rookie year.
Yeah, yeah, but who was that year?
Herbert, I think. It was the year that
Mm,
Herbert and
Yeah.
Jefferson both had good cases for it.
That was a
Um,
great draft class. That's the best draft
Jamar,
class we've
hey,
had in a while.
Jamar was offensive rookie of the year. So
That's
there
true.
you go. We got one guy. Um, but actually, you know what? That quarterback receiver, like great quarterback, record-breaking rookie receiver. We're gonna have that same bit debate this year between Stroud and Puka.
And next year with Penix and Rome,
There we go. There we go.
it's totally good. It's got to be CJ. CJ could. There's a case for CJ to be MVP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, we saw how the Titans or Texans, I mean, looked when Stroud got hurt. So,
Who
yeah,
is going to
I
be MVP?
Lamar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But honestly, if you look at the stats, it should probably still be Dak. But
It should. Yeah, it's a tough one.
ew, hope not.
that's why you can't just look at the stats, though. But if they hadn't gotten absolutely shit canned in Buffalo, it probably would be Dak.
Yeah.
But
So I know the
they,
NFL has gone downhill when Dak Prescott is an MVP candidate.
I know. You know, there was a bad offensive year, a really bad offensive year when like Dak's like in the main conversation for MVP.
yeah, it's
He's
a,
had
you
a
know
good
what,
year
and
though.
and and you know what's funny is the three guys that are like the favorites are three quarterbacks that just like have been just like shat on for the better part of the past like year or so. It's like Dak, Lamar, and Brock Purdy. Like
Mm.
Mahomes, down year.
Ugh.
Allen had his ups, but also had lots of downs. Burrow, hurt.
Hurt.
Hurts, fell back down to earth a little bit. Herbert, hurt. Like all the elite quarterbacks just didn't really have those
Joe
years.
Flacco. Joe
Oh,
Flacco,
yeah, true. Forgot about
baby.
Joe Flacco. You're
He's
right.
an
You're right.
elite
You're
Screw it.
quarterback.
Give Joe Flacco the MVP, man. Like, I don't
right.
want to see rather him than Dak,
I'd
dude.
love to see Joe Flacco be the MVP.
um, yeah, let's see. One okay, actually one more thing on that. I know again, we're going long here, but I just want to say one thing because I saw a tweet about this. If Joe Flacco leads the Browns to a Super Bowl, he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I'm down for that
No,
one.
no,
I'm down for that. Do it.
no,
Multiple Super Bowls with two different organizations, and one of them is
no,
the fucking Browns.
no. The criteria for Hall of Fame quarterbacks so high, man.
Joe Flacco might be there, man. If
No,
that's a big if.
no.
He might lose on Saturday, and then it's done.
That would be the funniest thing ever, though. What year did he win? Oh, okay, no, he won it in 2013. I was about to say it's been 10 years. If it was February 2013, I was like, oh shoot.
And you're to the day. Just goes on a magic. I think he saved his magical
Pick up
four
pick
game
up Jacoby
stretch.
Jones for the Super Bowl.
There you go. I wonder what he's doing. Probably working at
You
a
know what would be
7-Eleven
amazing
somewhere.
is if Joe Flacco Browns beat the Ravens in the playoffs.
That would be pretty amazing. As long as neither of them went to the Super Bowl. I could not stand the Browns going to the Super Bowl. I could not stand the Ravens winning the Super Bowl, but I couldn't even stand the Browns going to the Super Bowl.
They deserve it.
No, don't. I hate them.
Give us a
They
Browns
suck.
Lions Super Bowl.
Oh God,
Oh,
I'd be rooting for the Lions more than you'd be, man. That's probably
toilet
not
bowl
true,
right
but I'd
there.
be right there with you. Um, let's see. Yeah, we gotta get rolling here. Tampa, Carolina, not much to talk about in this game. Tampa Bay, Philadelphia is gonna be just an awful playoff game. I don't know why they didn't put that one on Peacock. That's one no one's gonna want to watch. Um, yeah, Philadelphia sucks, but Tampa sucks also. And to think the Bengals are sitting at home. I wish we played in the NFC. Anyways, Bears
I've been
Packers.
hey, it's I was saying for 10 years I wish we played in the AFC.
Yeah,
It
the
comes and it
worst.
goes, man. It
It
comes and it
comes and
goes.
goes. It comes and goes. Bears Packers. Packers still own the Bears, as evidence here. Um,
I'm glad the Packers won because we did not deserve to go to the playoffs. But I don't think that field goal gets missed if if the Bears won. I think that's just the way the universe works.
mhm. Or either of those two super field goals got missed.
That
Prayer
was
had two chances to
I
put
have a
away the
fun
game and
story
then to
about
win the
this game.
game.
I have a very
Yeah.
fun story about this game.
Well, wait till we get to that one
We'll
though.
wait. We'll wait. Oh
Okay,
yeah, that's what I
okay.
was saying. That's
Oh, okay. Bears, Packers. Packers still on the Bears. Jordan Love's an elite quarterback. As Daniel said, they can't keep getting away with this.
Jordan
Noble
Love will be a
Club beats
solid
the
quarterback.
doormat.
He's a system quarterback. He's Brock Purdy, but with worse parts, to be honest. I think that's
But a better
a pretty good
arm.
comparison. Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Don't even say that,
But
man.
Brock
If
has
you
a
say
better
that, that
mind.
means Jordan Love is going to turn into Aaron Rodgers next year, and he's just going to dominate the division
He
again and
won't. He
repeat
won't.
this
And I was a
cycle for
big
20
Jordan
more
Love truther
goddamn
back in the
years.
day.
The last time the Packers entered the playoffs as like barely making like a six seed, they went on
I,
to
I
win the
know.
Super
I
Bowl.
know what happened. Yeah, the greatest season of all time. The Noble Club got the Lombardi, brought it back to Titletown in Cowtown, where it belongs, clearly. Dude,
Daniel, let me
Last
present a
good Super
situation
Bowl, am
to
I
you.
right? The last good Super Bowl.
Let me present a situation to you here. It's the first year in 30 whatever years the Lions win the division. They
mm,
win their first NFC North title ever, but it will forever be overshadowed because 2023 was also the year that Jordan Love won his first Super Bowl. How would you feel?
and me, just, I quit football, dude. I quit. I'll tell you what about this specific game, though. I hate the Packers Bears rivalry because it's always marketed as this marquee matchup, but the Bears play like such fucking doormats every
No,
time they
Bears
play the
never beat
Packers.
the Packers, I feel like. Like, hold on. Okay, we're pulling up the spreadsheet. When's the last time the Bears beat the
I think it
Packers?
was
We're
20, it was Matt Nagy's first year in 2018. Because that year the
2018.
Bears won the division and the Packers went like 6-9-1 or some shit.
Good call. It was 2018. That's gotta be the longest drought among two division teams.
Yeah, after
No,
Jameis and the
I
Chiefs,
think
I'm
I
pretty sure
think
that's the
Broncos were
longest.
worse, but
The
currently,
Broncos
yes.
were worse, but they beat the Chiefs this year.
Yeah.
I know. I said, oh, I thought you meant like ever.
Oh no. I just mean like period.
Chicago, every time they play the Packers, man, Chicago just plays like a bunch of doormats, dude.
Oh, it's
Like
it's it's ridiculous. The fix is in
awful.
ever since like the Khalil Mack premiere game. The fix has been in.
Yeah, gotta let the Noble Club win, I guess, over the new Lions.
Let's see. Yeah, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do some research on that actually. But while we're looking ahead to that, Broncos, Raiders, did anyone watch this game?
No, it's a nothing game. Raiders
Yeah.
won.
Nope.
Raiders kept
Give
their streak
give Antonio
alive.
Pierce the job. Give him the
Give
job.
Antonio Pierce the job.
Yeah.
I agree. I
He
agree.
earned it. Russ
Oh,
is Gonzo.
mm,
Yep, that too.
hmm
The
He,
Broncos continue to stay dysfunctional.
Want to go to an embarrassment game?
mhm.
The Giants smoking the Eagles. What happened?
This game gave me hope, man. Giants went up 24-0 in the first half. Gave me some
You
hope.
you should know whenever you need help, it's never going to come through.
Not from the Giants, or not from the Commanders, at least. From the Giants, they,
Yeah.
they did their job here.
Well, like fully come through, you know?
Hmm
All right, let's get to the game we've been waiting for.
Do it, man. All you.
Let's go.
So, I was watching plenty of this game on my phone in the CFP event when I was waiting in line to get pictures with the Heisman and the Natty and all the New Year's Six trophies that I'm a lot less wanting to post
Hmm
after the result of the games, but I'll show them to you guys. I waited like an hour for that. I waited an hour for like a different line for like 30 minutes too. That really sucked. It was a lot of waiting. But I knew when, and we were just sucking the whole game. It's the typical Pete Carroll suck job against a bad team and luck your way into a win. And I
hmm
knew the minute that the Packers won, that the Seahawks were going to find some stupid way to win it. And they did. Um,
hmm
a Matt Prater missed field goal when they could have gone up 10, and then we take the lead. Or I guess it was 9, right? I forget. When they
hmm
could have gone up 9, and then we take the lead, but we leave way too much time on the board, and we luck into a Matt Prater is like just automatic, except these last two kicks of the year, and we just absolutely luck in to him missing those two field goals in the cursed stadium of the Seahawks, Super Bowl 49, uh, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Russell Wilson all had their last games at State Farm, all of them. And and now Pete Carroll. But I knew they were gonna find some stupid way to win it. And further fun story beyond that was I went to this place, Tom's Watch Bar, that Softy was doing the big CFP event there. And it was so insanely packed that you couldn't even stand outside. It was so crowded. But we're all watching on these TVs they had outside, and like the reaction to the missed kick was pretty fun. It was pretty fun, I won't lie. But that was my story. It's like I knew they were gonna find some really stupid way to win it as soon as the Bears won or lost. But I'm happy Pete got to go out on a win, and he went out on a win like so many games in the Pete Carroll era, won by just insane luck. Um, I'm glad he got to go out on a win with his smile and gun-chomping teeth on clear display as he walked to the middle of the field. And that ends an incredible era of Seahawks football with huge highs and devastating lows and a lot of in between for the last couple of years.
Hmm.
Um, I'll always, I've been saying it for a while that it's been time for Pete to go, that we needed some new ideas and to give someone else a go at this because it's not working right now. But I also said as soon as he retires, build a statue. I'll forever be thankful for his years at the helm, and he's definitely the greatest coach in Seahawks history. It's crazy that the era is ending though. It's a real dominance of the NFC West. He really ran that place for a while until the last couple of years when he was up against two of the best coaches in the game. The teams there knew they had to adapt.
Hmm.
They brought in Sean McVay specifically because he showed them how to beat the Seahawks. Um, but hell of a career, even though he kind of got fired and isn't retired yet, and is in the front office, whatever that means. It means nothing. He's never going to show up to that office. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's
You know
yeah,
where
he's
he's going to be
definitely
hanging out? He's to be hanging out at USC.
yeah, USC, that's right. That's right. He's gonna be chilling in SoCal somewhere.
He's a Cali
Yeah.
boy. He has a very nice house though, and I don't think he's selling that house. I think he'll probably live up here and live in Cali too. Got a
Hmm.
Trojan games. Be on the. I'm sure. I wonder if they're still. I wonder if Trojan fans are mad at Pete or bitter at Pete in any way from how he left them. Left with the
Mm,
sanctions. I think
true.
enough time has passed and they appreciate the glory years.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, right? You can't look too much badly on those because at the end
If
of the
if
day,
Pete if Pete was in if it was like 15 years later, everything was totally legal. Reggie deserves his Heisman back.
hmm, I agree. I agree.
Well, however, the narrative from USC fans that like he just got like what was it, $1,500. He 100% got a lot more than that. That's just what they caught. But it all would have been fine in these days.
That is true. That is true.
But what a Pete Carroll game to end the Pete Carroll era in. I think that's the best way to describe it.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah. It basically sums it up, right? I mean, hell of a career. It was chaos. It was chaos incarnate. Against an inferior opponent. They found a way to win. Didn't make it pretty, but they found a way to win.
Pete Carroll always had a magic touch, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It was never the X's and O's. It's always the motivation. He had a lot of fun doing it. He loved football.
Hmm.
All right, let's get
Uh,
on to two trash low scoring teams.
yeah, Chiefs.
13-12.
Chiefs were
Ugh.
starting Blaine Gabbert in this one. Chargers were starting Easton Stick.
Sounds like a can't miss game to me, man. I was looking forward
Easton
to
Stick
Easton
was the
Stick.
game's leading passer and runner, so
Oh
that's
my
fun.
God.
Easton
Um,
Stick, man. That's my guy.
Hire Kellen Moore.
Right.
I honestly have we overvalued Kellen Moore? That has been working for the past couple of years, man.
Not particularly. It's been a little, I don't know if it's necessarily his fault because I mean the Chargers offense was fine until Herbert got hurt and actually now I think about it, they did.
Was it a mistake? Well, you know who his OC was. It was Shane Steichen. Maybe, I don't think he was ready to
Hmm.
be head coach then, but he showed that he had a good mind.
Hmm. Maybe they should have stuck it out with them, you know?
I think that would have
So
been risky.
oh no, definitely would have been risky. Definitely would have been risky
And
for sure.
um I didn't want Shane Steichen to be the Seahawks OC when he got interviewed in was it 2021 when we hired
21, I
Waldron.
think.
I
I think
did
it was
not
21.
want him. That was a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, that one aged poorly because he knew what he was doing. He knows
He
what
knew what he
he's
was
doing
doing.
there.
I don't know if the offense he ran um would have fit with the Seahawks well though.
Hmm.
But he's implemented it really well in
And Indy.
Indy. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they'd have Anthony Richardson right now. Probably not, but maybe have AR.
Hopefully he stays healthy. I hope he's like I really hope he stays healthy.
Yeah.
What was he out for again? I forget at this point.
What was
Was it
AR's
was it a was
injury?
it a was it a ligament? Was it a shoulder? It was one of the two. Leg?
It was, let's see, Wikipedia. I'll say on this Wikipedia page here. Professional career. So it's an injury, th grade 3 AC joint sprain, so
Oh,
shoulder.
throwing shoulder though.
Yep.
Yes. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Hmm. Too many injuries this year, man. Too many injuries. But um Carson Wentz versus Sam Darnold. It's
Carson Wentz
fun.
is a
Who would
comeback.
have this would have been a fun one a couple years ago.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you told me there's a actually no, I was gonna say if you told me there was a game between two playoff teams led by Carson Wentz and Sam Darnold in like 2018, I would have believed you. If you told me that in 2023, I wouldn't have, but that's because both these guys were starting in week 18 in place of the guys that were resting. So, Rams came out with a 1 point win, got the 6 seed as a result, and are now going to take on the Detroit Lions, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Um, Not much to say about this one unless you guys have any thoughts.
Nah, man.
Cool. Then we will move on to another game, which I imagine we probably won't have a lot from other than Daniel mourning his 2 seed, his
Fuck the
beloved two
Cowboys.
seed.
Fuck the Cowboys. I hate them. I hate that team so much, dude. Everyone hates the Cowboys.
You know what? I'm
I hate
actually
the
not a
Cowboys.
Cowboys hater. Maybe I
Fuck.
should
Okay,
be.
you're also an AFC team fan. You're
Yeah,
you're
you don't understand. You
your
don't
hatred goes to
understand what it's
Pittsburgh.
like. You don't understand what it's like
If the
to
Packers are the Steelers of the AFC, or if the Steelers are the Packers of the AFC, who are the Cowboys of the AFC?
All New
Patriots.
England, right?
Patriots? Yeah, probably. Probably,
You
yeah.
know, it's the Dolphins if they stayed good or
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
can see that.
Because they had Don Shula and is probably a good comparison to why am I blanking on his name?
Jimmy Johnson?
No.
Jason Garrett?
Landry,
Jason
Tom Landry, Tom Landry.
Oh,
Dude, please, Dallas, hire him back. Because they're gonna
We
fire
love
Mike
Coach
McCarthy
Clapp.
at some
Yeah,
point.
he's
Please get Jason
terrible on
Garrett back.
broadcasts
oh
too.
wait. By the way, just so y'all know, if and I'll just get this on the record. If the Cowboys lose on Sunday, Mike McCarthy's going to get fired, and Bill Belichick's going to be the coach of the Cowboys.
No, it's gonna be Quinn
Please no.
if it's not a defensive meltdown because
Bill Belichick.
Jerry
Belichick
loves
just
Quinn and wants to keep Quinn.
That's Bill Belichick.
Belichick better not go to Dallas, dude. He better not go to the fucking Cowboys.
There's no would he give up GM Belichick? Like there's no way those
Dude,
personalities
Jerry
mesh.
Jones
There is
looks
Yeah, but
no
mate,
way
you
those
you could say
personalities
the
work.
same thing
Belichick
about
wants
Robert
GM duties.
Kraft
He
and
won't
Bill
get GM
Belichick.
duties there.
Jerry Jones
Jerry
is another
Jones is
level
just about
name.
making a splash, baby. That's all he cares about.
No, no, he cares about himself only. He does not give a fuck about the Cowboys.
Cares
Yeah,
about
because he kept Jason Garrett for so long, and he has the husk, the bearded husk of Mike McCarthy, who he kept hired when it came out that he completely lied to him in his interview, which I always thought was hilarious. He J- Mike McCarthy George Santos himself to the Cowboys hire.
yeah.
They still hired him.
No, they didn't
Sometimes
fire
I
him.
feel, but I feel like when I think of the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like they should have a big time, like a big name coach. So it's just
Hmm.
funny to me. I mean, not
Their
to say Mike
last, I don't
McCarthy's
know.
a small
Pull up their
name,
Jason
but
list of
Garrett, where you
coaches.
at?
Pull up their list of coaches because they haven't been good since Jimmy. They haven't. I guess they had Parcells, other than Parcells, but that was
No,
the
Cowboy,
ghost of
bro.
Parcells.
Oh, Tom Landry. He was a big
That's
Cowboy
what I
oh
fan.
yeah,
said.
Tom Landry, yeah, I mean he's a Hall of
Well,
Famer.
he's a goat. He was the first. He was
Tom
the first and
Landry,
only Jimmy
Jimmy Johnson. Oh
Switzer.
wow, I
See,
felt
yeah, he
went
was there
from
forever.
Man, he was the coach for 28 years. Damn.
And you
Okay,
know what happened though? Jerry
what's
Jones
that?
fired him when he bought the team. See, Switzer was like,
I think no, I think he fired Jimmy when he bought the team because that's right
no,
around when he
no,
bought
no,
Jimmy.
no, no,
Or bad
no,
drop.
no. He bought the team with Jimmy, and he fired Jimmy though.
They had Chad Gailey as their head coach at one
Yeah,
point.
When did Jerry Jones buy this team? Second of 1989. You're right.
Oh,
You
yeah.
are correct. Good call. Good call. Yeah. Um,
Barry just capitalized on
Oh, Wade Phillips. I forgot he was there.
Jimmy's success. Yeah, Chan Gailey, Dave Campo, Wade Phillips, and like they haven't been that great. They really haven't. And that was the husk of Bill Parcells. You know where they really fucked up though? What they really fucked up, I think Jerry Jones has admitted this, was letting Sean Payton walk.
Mike
Should have
McCarthy.
kept Jason Garrett for a little bit longer. I don't think
Yeah,
Ted was
you have Barry
done.
Switzer, Chan Gailey, and Dave Campo all in a row. That's pretty rough. And that was like the ghost. That was a husk of Bill Parcells too, that a desperate Jerry Jones brought in. Look how awful Mike McCarthy looks in that picture. His beard makes him look so much fatter.
My God, bro.
Roast him. Roast him. I don't know.
Like
Looks
I said, it's
ready
the
to give away the
bearded
game in the
husk.
last 2 minutes. But also, man, fuck the commies for giving me hope in the first half when they had the lead and they blocked a Brandon Aubrey kick. And I thought they were actually going to
Aaron
win.
Henry finally missed one.
Yeah, he missed two field goals because he got his first one was blocked and then he missed a field goal towards the end of the game.
I know, so sad. That was in this game, yeah. They smacked him. They smacked him.
I mean, look at that. There wasn't one point where it was Washington was up
Yeah, they
10-7.
gave me hope, man. And then Dallas just
And
fucking went off
that
on me.
lasted for less than 3 minutes of game time. That was less than 3 minutes of hope. But I hope you liked that hope. I hope it
Oh, I
tasted good.
did. I did. But, I learned my lesson. Never
Oh, it's
trust
a
the
hell of a
commies.
feeling, Andy. I get to it, Morgan Freeman.
And then, yeah, Cowboys destroyed them and will be playing. Got the 2 seed, won the NFC East, so the streak of no repeat NFC East winners will continue.
Continue. I love it. I love it.
Um, and then we got the last game, the nightcap here. Buffalo going down to South Beach, taking on the Dolphins. What a chaotic game this was, honestly. Neither,
Hmm.
in a way, neither of these teams deserve to win. Um, this game is a perfect microcosm of how every single team in the AFC outside of the Ravens was a disappointment this year. Oh, and the
Oh yeah.
Browns. Yeah. Other than the Ravens and the Browns, every other AFC team was a disappointment this year. The Browns overachieved. Texans too.
Actually, yeah, Texans, Texans,
Okay,
Texans and Colts.
the elite AFC teams all underperformed. there were some
Yes,
surprises
absolutely.
in there as well.
Absolutely. Well, the
The rate
underperformance made room for those teams, you know. It's
exactly,
not played in a
exactly.
vacuum.
Chiefs were not good this year. They will probably beat the Dolphins, but that's because the Dolphins also aren't good. And then they're going to lose in the divisional round. Bills are a team that operates purely, and I mean purely, on chaos. If they're not generating turnovers on defense, it's a problem because Josh Allen's going to throw like four picks a game that just make you think, what the fuck was that? But then also have like four amazing plays that make you go, what the fuck was that? In a good way. So it's like, yeah, Dolphins, Tua sucks. Sorry. I know there's all the stats. It's like, oh, Tua was this, that. I'm sorry. I watched the games. Tua's not a very good quarterback. Yeah, he can throw to a wide open Tyreek Hill on occasion. So could I probably. He's not good. Whenever you ask him to go and win a game for you, you can count on it that he will not. The Dolphins had a chance to tie or win this game in the fourth quarter, and they had plenty of time to do it. And I looked over at my dad who I was watching the game with, and I said, "Oh, you know, turn two is going to throw a pick." Guess what? Like 4 plays later, he threw a pick. Who are the other teams? Oh, Bengals. They're just fucking beat to hell. I can make excuses for them though. Who are the other teams that we expected to be really good?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Oh God, just perennial underachievers. We thought Calvin Ridley's they need to build up that receiver core because they just don't have the weapons for Trevor Lawrence right now. Trevor Lawrence was playing hurt and he was playing poorly while hurt. Defense also underachieved. Oh, defense was getting shredded towards the end of the
Vic
season.
Fangio's lost his touch.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got
Vic
pieces
Fangio just
there.
in Miami.
Oh wait, no, I was talking about Miami defense.
No, yeah, I know. I see what you're saying. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Other than the Ravens, all the teams like we thought were going to be really good in the AFC all underachieved. Which credit to the Ravens. They saw the vacuum and they're going to take it. Maybe they get a Super Bowl ring out of this year. They won't be back in it next year. They're not going to win the AFC North in 2024. I'll tell you that much right now. But they might get a Super Bowl this year. So credit for that. Um, or they'll at least go and then lose to the 49ers. We'll see what happens. But anyways, yeah, sorry. Rant over. Basically, what I mean to say with this one is this game is a microcosm of how this elite AFC ended up being a lot
Hmm.
more parity driven, kind of like college football this year, than we thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
Injuries played a big factor in the AFC this year, um, as did just fucking chaos. I did not
Hmm.
think the Chiefs were going to fall off the way they fell off, but we'll
Eric
talk.
Bieniemy for real.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for sure. If Washington had even like an average offensive line, they could have been competing for a playoff berth down the line. Now they ended up with the second overall pick because they don't have that. But in fact, they have a middle school offensive line. Fun fact, actually, the Queen Creek Middle School team, their offensive line actually went missing around early September. And I was wondering where they went. I watched a Washington Commanders football game, and there they were on the screen. It was crazy.
Oh,
God.
man.
You can
Shout
joke
out,
about the
huge
secondary
shout out
too.
to
Washington's
Eric
got a
Bieniemy,
terrible
man.
secondary.
He really proved himself this year. He really did. He really elevated
It's
himself.
and not to say, Mahomes is Mahomes, Reed is Reed, but it does make me think that Bieniemy was a more important part of
Oh
that
yeah. Everyone shat
flow.
on him. Everyone
Oh
shat
yeah.
on him. They said he's an asshole with baggage who just does nothing. Reed is in control. And he goes out and makes Sam Howell a serviceable quarterback and on a bad roster with no O-line. And he
Mhm.
did it, and he did it in a very funny way. He's like, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna throw 50 times a game, and it worked. It made they probably should have been the worst team in the NFL. They really should
Yeah,
have, and they weren't.
they were
He
not.
probably saved Ron Rivera's ass from getting fired midseason.
Yeah, but he also prevented them from getting Caleb Williams too. So
That's not his fault.
that's true. He doesn't care about that. He's trying
He
to win
Lovie
football
Smith it.
games.
Yeah, he proved himself. I have a huge amount of respect for Eric Bieniemy now. I know he's got some baggage, some history, but that happened a long time ago. But like, I got a lot of respect for him.
Hmm. There you go. I know. I kind of took over the Buffalo Miami chat there. Any thoughts on that one, boys?
No, I think we got it all out there.
Yeah,
I think
I think we took it pretty
you took it
well.
over when we were running down. Now that's called a segue.
There we go. Well, speaking of segue, we were talking about coaching jobs there, and we got some open coaching jobs there. So, wanted to kind of briefly touch on all of the jobs that are open and
Fun time for Robbie. Yeah. Exciting
fun
time.
time
I
for
have
Robbie. Exciting time. But
when
I
I
also
you
want
know,
to go ahead.
what was your fun thing? What's your fun thing?
I was gonna
I'll say my
say
thing
I'll have
after.
us all give our predictions on who gets each
Oh,
job.
that's fun. I like that.
Yeah, I got a spread. I got
Um,
a work pad here to write them down, and we'll
ooh, I love
once all
that.
the hires are done, we'll see who got the most right. We might all go over, but that would be even fun here.
Yeah.
So
We probably will I think we'll each get only one right at
yeah,
that. Um, I've been a Seahawks fan since the Holmgren days. I'm not one of the LOB bandwagons, but I wasn't on the internet and I wasn't watching sports shows. I just followed the team back when I was a kid, probably until LOB days, or like 2012 LOB is when I was really understood how to use the internet to find sports things. I was about 12. So I was never super active on like coaching searches. So this is the first NFL coaching search for my team that like I actually understand football for, which is very exciting. Coaching searches and rebuilds are very exciting. It's tough to get there, but
You think so?
being middling is not exciting.
You excited for a rebuild, man? You excited to sit through potential 4-win seasons?
We've
Want to
been
play this game,
well, I
man?
think I think we were doing a rebuild um starting in 22, but the team
Okay.
performed so much better than expected that it wasn't, you know. And then we kind of had a pretty similar year, to be honest, this year, but some people think it's like worse. We'll see if we'll go to 4 wins. I think we're a bit too talented for that, but we'll see what happens. At least if it's not middling. I'd rather suck than be middling. Did you miss what I said, Beau?
no, I was listening. I had my AirPods in, so I was listening all the way. But I actually, on the topic of first coaching searches, that was me in 2019 because I
You're
when the
Marv
Bengals
Lewis?
hired Marvin Lewis, I was 3 years old. I was not
Jeez.
following the coaching cycle back then. Um, I was not following much back then. I couldn't freaking read back then, so it made it hard.
Yeah, I've been a Seahawks fan since the Holmgren days. Probably the '06 Super Bowl run. So maybe I guess I was a bandwagon for that one, right? But
Yeah.
I was a dumb kid that didn't know anything about football. But then I learned about football definitely when like I'd say 2010 for the Beastquake year this is when I really started paying attention.
I think the year I became a Bengals fan, it was whatever year Madden 04 came out, the one that had Mike Vick on the cover, because I remember playing
Oh
that with
yeah.
my brother, and I picked the Bengals because they had the best helmets, and that led to me being a Bengals fan to this day. Um, so there you go. There's a little fun fact about Beau and where his Bengals fandom comes from. But anyways,
Let's get
yeah, I
into it.
guess Madden 04 would have been after Marvin got hired. So yeah, 2019 was the first and only head coach hiring cycle that I've ever followed. It's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. It's
Do you remember any?
interesting. Do I
Sorry.
remember? Oh, actually,
Do
no
you
fun
remember any
fact.
fun details from the coaching search? Let's hear it.
Oh yeah. Little name. The actually on the exact same day that they interviewed Zach Taylor, they also interviewed Shane Waldron.
Oh, I've heard
So
that one before. Yep, they made
that
the
was
recall.
they made the right call on that one. They also interviewed Eric Bien. I know throughout this cycle, everyone's like, "Oh, the Bengals are cheap. They're just gonna end up going with Hugh Jackson or someone because he was in house and they knew him." And I was like, "This was after Hugh Jackson had gone 0-16," so I was like, "Please don't hire Hugh Jackson." Um, I remember at one point there were reports coming out it was going to be an offensive coach and it was not going to be an in-house guy. And everyone started to say, "Oh, it's going to be Eric Bieniemy." Everyone was thinking it was going to be Eric Bieniemy. And then like the next day, and I remember actually I was walking back from Red Square to the dorms when I got the tweet saying um tweet from like a totally random Cincinnati reporter that everyone was saying like wasn't reputable that Zach Taylor was hired to be the coach. And then like I was like, oh, I don't think this is legit. because everyone's saying it was going to be enemy. And then like 30 minutes later, like Rappaport tweeted that it was going to be Zach Taylor, and I was like, damn it, I wanted it to be enemy, man. Um, and there you go. To this day, and you know what? After that, I was like, okay, I'll get on the Zach wagon. Couple rough years, but you know what? I'm happy with where things stand now. I'm happy. I'm not a Zach Taylor hater. I know a lot of Bengals
Hmm.
fans are. I'm not a Zach Taylor hater. Um, so there you go. Although
Daniel,
I remember
you got any fun ones from your Dan Campbell hire
it's
or
probably had
Matt
a few.
Patricia?
Dan Campbell, Matt
Yeah, you've had a few.
Patricia.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first coaching search that I went through, it was the Jim Caldwell one because Jim
Mhm.
Schwartz had gotten fired after the 2013 year. I remember that season, it was between Jim Caldwell and Ken Wisenhunt. So many
Oh
Lions fans wanted to
God.
get Wisenhunt because the thing is, like, going into 2014, we wanted a coach that was going to fix Stafford because Stafford was basically baby Brett Favre at that point, and we got sick of his picks. So we were like, we got to get like a quarterback whisperer essentially. So it was either Ken Wisenhunt or Jim Caldwell, and we got Jim Caldwell. And then his first year with us, we won 11-5, and we had one of the best defenses in the league that year. And that was also the season that we went to Dallas in the playoffs, and they picked up the PI flag
Mhm.
because you
Oh,
can't have the Lions
horrible.
win a Jerry World. We can't have that. We
Horrible,
get
horrible
Cowboys
playoffs.
Packers
Sucked.
matchup in the second round. Anyway, a lot of fans are still salty about that. I don't.
As you should be.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while now, but and then the Patricia one was pretty infamous because Jim Caldwell in his last year with us, we went 9-7. We actually lost to the Bengals that year to fall to 8-7, and that eliminated us from the playoffs.
I remember that game.
Yeah, that was the one because Jim Caldwell's forte was lose to the good teams but beat the bad teams. Since he was a bad team that year, and
We
of
were horrible
course,
that year. Actually, that game and the next game against the Ravens in week 17,
yeah,
after week 15, it was announced that Marvin was going to get fired. Us winning out after that was what saved him his job. And obviously only prevented it for 1 year because he got fired the next year. But yeah, keep going though. Sorry.
yeah. So that was, of course, the one bad team we needed to beat to get into the playoffs. We lost that game. So Jim Caldwell gets fired after a 9-7 year. Our GM at the time, Bob Quinn, comes out after the firing in his presser and he's like, 9-7 isn't good enough. So he goes and hires Matt Patricia. We open on Monday night in 2018 against the Jets. Sam Darnold, first pass is a pick six for us. We take a 7-0 lead. And then you guys know what happens at the end of that
Nil.
game? We lost 48-17. And Sam Darnold looked like a god. And it was the one good game he would
Oh,
ever have in
that
his
was
career.
Jamal Adams had a good game that year. I remember watching his highlights from that game.
Dude, that game was so stupid.
Jamal Adams had his only touchdown that game.
I bet. I don't even remember that. But you know what? That sounds right. Sounds right to me.
Oh, I hate Jamal
Stafford threw
Adams
four
so
picks.
much.
And after that game, I knew that Matt Patricia was not the guy. Like, you cannot lose 48-17 on a Monday night home opener against the fucking Jets, bro.
Yeah, but then they bit like in week 3 of that same year, they beat the Patriots on Sunday Night Football
Dude,
too.
I remember after that game, I was like, whatever.
Mm.
I it
Yeah,
was
that
it
was a
was
weird
it
one.
was exciting, but like we went up to like 1-2. Like we still lost the week two game. I was like, yeah, okay.
What was
Patriots
the
still won
score
the Super
again?
Bowl that year.
Like,
They
yeah,
they
we're
lost
not
to the
gonna do
Patricia
it.
Lions and won the Super Bowl that year. That's
Hmm.
awesome. But I'm excited for interviews and news. I know who I think it's gonna be. We'll get to that when we get to my team. Beau
Hmm.
knows who I think it's gonna be. I think Daniel might too. I've been saying this for weeks to Beau. I never knew that I didn't think Pete was actually gonna go though. I think he should have, and I didn't think he actually Jody did it. I
Hmm.
thought Pete should have just bowed out. He was never gonna do it though. That just
Hmm.
goes against who he is.
Yeah. But getting into the openings, and we'll talk Seahawks opening here very shortly because there's actually 8 openings, but some of them we'll probably talk about less than others. But the Falcons. No longer the Falcons because they fired Arthur Smith. They'll finally start to use their talent.
I think this is an
Um,
attractive opening.
they have
100%.
the only question is what you're going to do at quarterback.
Penix
Other
in
than that,
Atlanta would be really cool. I'm not gonna lie, it would be pretty cool.
what
And it's
about
close to
bring?
Florida. I think
What
that's where
about
he wants to go.
bring back a little Mike Vick action, bring Justin Fields to Atlanta.
He's not a lefty.
That's
I'm gonna
true.
say Atlanta's
Right,
gonna go
right-handed
for
Mike
either
Vick.
Fields or MPJ.
MPJ. They don't. They they're fine at Rome. MPJ is gonna be gone by 8. The thing is though, both are similar molds to Drake London, except Drake London is worse.
Oh, you mean MHJ? Oh,
Oh
you're
my
saying
gosh.
MPJ? I was thinking of Penix. I was like,
I
he's gonna be
messed
gone
that
at
up.
8?
Oh my, I
There's
thought
gonna be an
Daniel. Oh
MHJ and an
my God.
MPJ. It's gonna be
Oh my
confusing.
God. I messed that one up. I
We
heard
gotta
when
call
you
Penix
say,
Penix
yeah, or Mike.
or
When
Mike.
Daniel, when
Yeah.
you said MPJ, I thought it was Marvin Harrison Jr.
No, I was saying that it was either we get Penix on the Falcons or we get Justin Fields
Hmm.
as one of their
Penix would
quarterbacks.
look cool in a Falcons jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
he would fit in the A as they call it,
Mm-hmm.
the A and the whitest voice possible. Um,
The ATL.
and it's close to Florida, you know. Uh, Penix going to Tampa, that'd be fun. Dave Canales.
Mm-hmm. If he's still there, because he might get some
I
interviews.
don't think he's getting interviews. Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think he'll get
who are
something,
we
but he's
thinking
getting
here though?
interviews.
I think offensive coach is going
I
to get
know
this
who I'm
gig.
thinking. Actually, I have an order that I want to go in. I'll kind of go across and then do it snake
Yeah, that's fine.
styles. So I'm gonna lead off here. I'm gonna go with the GOAT Bill Belichick.
Wow,
I
he
think
does
Bill.
not fit in Atlanta very much, in my
You
opinion.
wouldn't think, but they sound like they really want him. Like they really want him. They saw firsthand what he can do. Um,
Hmm.
and I think they're thinking, hey, we just got to get the a coach that's going to come in here, right the ship. Um, and like you said earlier, it's an attractive job, and Belichick can probably choose where he wants to go. So there you go. Next on the order here, I got Daniel.
Oh man. Now the Falcons are kind of a tough one because they could. I feel like they should get an offensive coach because they have offensive talent. They should be using that offensive talent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if BB's gonna. I feel like BB in Atlanta it's such a weird fit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I can't picture Belichick coaching this Falcons team. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to look at these candidates here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Honestly, but then you also could be right though, Beau, because like you said, they're like pretty insistent on trying to get him in. And then Belichick could also pick where he wants to go. Shit, man. Oh man. Falcon, this is probably gonna be the toughest one to pick. Like this and the Panthers, I think are gonna be the
Mm-hmm.
toughest teams to match a coach to. Dude, honestly, fuck it, man. I'm gonna say Ben Johnson.
All right.
I could see him going.
I'm gonna agree with Daniel there
Okay.
because I think he'll get a lot out of a good O line and Bijan. And you got a
Mm-hmm.
monster, three-headed monster. You got Algier and Cordero.
That's true. Yeah, he used Montgomery and Gibbs really well this past year. So
And he used his two running backs well last year too.
yeah, yeah, Jamal and
Swifty.
Swift. It's so funny. You had two different sets of running backs that kind of both fit the same role. It's funny how that works. Anyways, Carolina. Rob leads off with Carolina here.
Ooh,
Not one I'm envying that you get to lead off with because I'm lost on this one, honestly. But I'll
it's
let you
a
take it away.
tough one. Hmm, this is a real tough one. I'm just looking at the candidates. I'm just looking at all the requests. Watch them hire Chris Tabor. That'd be funny.
That would be awesome.
I don't think they're going to be able to get a top candidate.
No, they won't be. They're the worst. They're the worst opening by a
They
long shot.
are. They are. I think they're going to get. They got to go offensive though to
Hmm.
pair with Bryce. Can't believe Brian Johnson's getting an interview. That's so bad.
Yeah, Eagles fans want him fired. He's getting head coaching interviews.
It works well with smaller quarterbacks, good processor. Fuck it, Dave Canales. Taking a risk.
Canales. Okay, there we go.
You gave me the
Canales.
tough one to go first, man.
Yeah, yeah. You got an easy one. The next one that you got first, you got an easy one. Go ahead,
Okay,
Daniel.
cool.
Fucking
Give me
man.
Seahawks first, too, by the way.
You will
Fucking
have Seahawks first. You will Seahawks first.
Robert Jokinen, you're gonna be the new Carolina Panthers head coach.
Woo!
Should I write it down?
Yeah!
Can I write it down?
No, don't write it down. I'll give a real guess. No, honestly, yeah,
Oh, I hate Bryce Young. I'm cutting him.
you're not the GM though, man.
I don't get GM powers. Dang, I'm not accepting it. I need full
Oh,
control. Full control. I'm the puppet master.
I don't think Dave Tepper's gonna like that, man. He wants to be the puppet master.
Shout out Scott Fitterer got fired too. Good guy.
Dude, I don't know. Honest, you know what would be the most fucked up thing? Watch them get Belichick. Watch Belichick just be like, you know what? I'm gonna take the hardest job possible just to show these pussy fans that I ain't done coaching at an elite level.
They got good defensive pieces.
Honestly, the funny thing, yeah, if Belichick went there and they were able to bring back Burns, shit, they could compete for the
Is he
NFC
is
South the
he
next
is
year.
he um uh
Burns,
is he a free agent?
he's a free agent,
He's gonna be a
unrestricted.
prize, but
Although they can
they're gonna
franchise
tag
tag
him.
him.
Yeah, they're gonna tag
Yeah.
him. And they'd be fools not to.
Hmm.
And they need to fix I think they need to make the franchise tag more matchable. I think the two
Hmm.
first is too much. Because then
Hmm.
the franchise tag is just too powerful for I think the players really fucked up letting the transfer or letting the franchise tag be that powerful.
Hmm. So,
I'm gonna
what's
say
your call?
I was gonna say Belichick, but honestly, I got a different prediction for BB. I think Panthers take just looking at the candidates. I think they'll take Bobby Slowick.
Slovak.
Yeah,
There we go.
I guess you didn't
I
take
could
it.
see that. Actually, wait, no. I think Slow can maybe get a better job. Yeah, I think maybe it could be Frank Smith. Um,
That'd be interesting. That'd be
Maybe.
interesting because he's not one that's getting
shorter,
talked about for like
smaller
any other ones.
processor.
That's true. It's funny you actually mentioned Slovak because I'm actually going in the same direction on this one.
I was thinking that they want a piece of that young
Oh.
quarterback, young quarterback whisperer.
There are a lot of good candidates in this cycle, actually, to the point where it's like there's good candidates, and I'm getting to the point where it's like, where do I land with Ben Johnson? Where do I land with
Mm-hmm.
like like Mike McDonald? And it's like I don't think any of those guys miss on jobs, but it's like, man, Belichick and Quinn and Harbaugh and
Yeah, there's a good bench of experienced
yeah,
head
that are kind of
coaches, but there's not a great bench of up and coming offensive coaches. There's a
Mhm,
great bench of defensive coaches, though. There's a lot more veterans. Maybe, all those young coaches have gotten snatched up
mhm.
because they wanted an extra pay.
I would go Ben Johnson here, and I know initially I did actually predict Ben Johnson that text I sent you guys the other day, but he turned this down for job for an interview yesterday or not yesterday, last
Have
year.
you heard some of the rumors about him?
Yeah.
About his he said 15 mil. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Oh, they talk about
he
Ben
definitely
Johnson.
at least
Hmm.
thinks he's the prize of the
15. No, that
coaching
was
class.
debunked.
That was
Was it
debunked.
Demar?
Okay,
15 mil was
okay.
debunked. That's
But it's
not
like
But
true. But
he definitely thinks highly of himself, as do all coaches.
he turned down this job interview last year.
yeah, so I'll give you some context for that. So Ben Johnson's from North Carolina.
Hmm.
So if he were to take the Panthers job, it'd be like him kind of going back home, sort of a
Hmm.
homecoming kind of deal. So yeah, the Panthers did request to interview him last year. He declined it. And I think part of the reason is because our former running back coach, Deuce Staley, he was the one of the coaches in Carolina for the first half of this year. So he got fired at the same time that Frank Reich did.
Hmm.
And there's some other connections to the Lions because the Panthers hired a lot of former Lions coaches over the offseason. for like to fill some of the position roles. So the rumor is that I don't know if how true it is, but the rumor is that a lot of like Ben Johnson has a lot of connection with some of those guys, and they kind of steered him away from taking the position in Carolina.
Mm,
And I
okay.
think
This
also too,
was
like he just wanted to stay in Detroit at least for another year.
yeah.
Something about him like finishing what he started.
Hmm.
Okay, I didn't know that McDonald had an A in it.
Hmm.
You know
So,
what? Hire a special teams coordinator and find the next John Harbaugh.
or the next Andy Reid.
You know who I really
Oh.
Andy Reid was special teams? I didn't know that.
Okay, so
No, he was
special teams, yeah.
OC. He was at OC at Green Bay under Favre.
Was he? Hold on,
Yeah.
I thought it was a special team. Maybe I'm just thinking of Harbaugh and I'm getting confused. You're probably right. You're probably right. Why am I thinking? Yeah, it was
Um,
he's the quarterback's coach and assistant head coach. He's actually never been offensive coordinator. Fun fact about Andy Reid, never
Andy
been
Reid,
offensive
really?
coordinator.
He was quarterbacks coach under
He was
under.
quarterback's
Okay,
coach
that's
and
what I
assistant
remember.
head coach. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, shoot, I was about to say something interesting, but I forgot it.
Still haven't made my Columbus Carolina pick. Honestly, I'll probably just go Slovic too, actually. He doesn't have the connections to tell him not to go to Carolina the way Ben Johnson does.
Oh.
We'll keep on moving. Okay, I've got an
No
easy one here with the
request,
Raiders.
Antonio
Yeah, I'm
Pierce.
gonna go with Pierce. I'm going
I'm gonna
Pierce.
I'm going Pierce as well. Do it.
Antonio Pierce,
Don't
the Raiders.
mess up again.
There we go. Pierce across the board. And we got the Chargers. And Rob leads with this one.
What have I said so far?
You have said Ben Johnson to the Falcons, Dave
Okay,
Canales to the Panthers, Antonio Pierce to the Raiders.
this will be Harbaugh.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Harbaugh. Damn.
Oh my God. UCLA is losing 87 to 37 to Utah.
Ooh, that's not good. That's not good.
Like college basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Near the end of the second half. 87-37. That's bad for UCLA too. Whew. They're gonna fire their AD.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of tempted to take Harbaugh for the Chargers, but honestly, man, I don't know if Jim Harbaugh would take that job. I don't know if he would to like it's a pretty easy link, but I don't know if he would take the Chargers job. Because the thing is, I feel like Jim Harbaugh, because what I'm thinking here is Dean Spanos is a cheap as fuck owner.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Harbaugh
Hmm.
is gonna want a lot of money because he just won a natty. He's coached, he's basically made won a natty. He's been a contender with Michigan for a while. He was a really good coach with the Niners back when he was in the NFL. Like I feel like he's gonna ask for a lot of money to coach. I don't
I
trust.
think he wants to go to the NFL. I think he's made it pretty clear that
I think he
once he
wants
gets
to,
an
but I don't.
offer,
But I
I
think
think
he
he
wants.
just needs an offer.
I think he wants a good offer though. I don't think. I don't know if Dean Spanos is the owner to give him a good offer.
I think I think I think having Herbert is a pretty damn good offer.
I called an audible, by the way. I changed my Slovic pick for the Panthers.
Boo! Nope,
I'm going
not
Mike
allowed.
McDonald.
Not
I'm going
allowed.
Mike
Not allowed.
McDonald. Mike
Nope, nope,
McDonald.
nope, 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 nope.
What
Too
did you
late.
see
It
something on
closed.
Twitter? Is that why you're changing your pick?
No, I had a revelation. But
I
All right.
if I'm not
I
allowed to change it, I'll keep it Slovic. I'll keep
all
it
right, I'll
Slovic.
leave up to Daniel.
I think the Chargers are gonna promote Kellen Moore.
Ooh.
Okay.
Are you gonna allow Beau to change, Daniel?
Uh, we all get one change. How about that?
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
that's fair. That's it. We all
That's
get one
fair.
change.
I
And
agree
we'll
with
go
that.
back and review. So I've used my change. We'll go back and review at the end.
Okay,
Who
I
gets
like that.
these.
That's a fun wrinkle right there.
My Chargers pick is also Harbaugh. I feel good about that one.
There's
That
too much
seems
smoke there.
there's way too much smoke, yeah.
Leslie Frazier.
He didn't even work in the
What?
NFL this year.
No. I've never heard of Gift Smith before he became the interim. It's very funny.
Patriots.
Vrabel.
So
Vrabel. I think we can skip this one.
Vrabel.
I'm gonna say Vrabel as well.
You see, and I actually have to think about this one a little bit because There was the tweets today that they do have a succession plan with Gerard Mayo.
Oh,
They
that's
put that together
right.
not thinking that Vrabel would be available, though. And technically, they don't have to go through with that. They just have the contract already drafted in case they do.
That's true.
But then it's like, if it's not New England, where does Vrabel go? And I can't see him
Seattle.
getting left out. Seattle, maybe.
I don't know how I feel about that though. I want to go in a different. That's not the direction I want to go in, honestly. I don't think he fits Seattle either. Just the city. I don't think you'd want to live there.
I'm gonna go with Vrabel as well. I think they're gonna think like, hey, yeah, we had the plan with Mayo. Maybe they'll see if Mayo would be willing to stick around as a DC still. Maybe not, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Vrabel as well.
They
Your
just
move.
inducted him. Okay, my move. No requests yet. Are you kidding me? We know it's me. It's gonna be Dan Quinn. I'd want it. I want Ben Johnson. My
Hmm.
who I want right now. I would be very happy with Ben Johnson or McDonald. Those are the two I really want. Young, fresh, new ideas that are doing really well. Um, I think it will be Dan Quinn though, and I'm fine with that because he's doing some pretty new stuff on defense. So I'm gonna go Dan Quinn.
I like it, Daniel.
Mm, I think I'm with Rob. I think Dan Quinn's going to Seattle. He's got the history there.
Hmm.
I'm also going with Dan Quinn. So we got a lot of agreements so far. In fact, we're across the board with the Raiders, the Patriots, and the Seahawks, all across the board. But we won't be all across the board, I don't think, with the Titans, Commanders. In fact, I know we won't because I know who I'm picking for those teams. Starting with the Titans, which I'm leading off with here. They got a request to interview Antonio Pierce, Slovic, Johnson. I think they keep it in the division and they hire Bobby Slovic.
Mm. This is a tough one. I think you're after Bo Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, you're up.
Yeah, I agree with Rob. It's a tough one. I feel like Tennessee could go a few different directions. I kind of hope they take Aaron Glenn. Here's the thing with Aaron Glenn is well, I was gonna mention this earlier, but he's a terrible defensive coordinator. Like I'm not gonna dispute that. But I think as a head coach, like from some of the testimony I've heard from him, like he's a good leader, a really good communicator. He's got like the players like him and respect him. If Aaron Glenn gets good coordinators around him, I think he could be successful as a head coach. And hot take, I think he has more potential as a head coach than Ben Johnson does. I think
Wow.
Ben Johnson is a better coordinator, but I don't think he doesn't have the charisma of Aaron Glenn.
Hmm.
With that said, I don't think Aaron Glenn is going to get this job. I just wanted to throw that out there. Um, who will take the Titans job? Honestly, I feel like they go offensive. They want to see what they have with Will Levis. I'm kind of between Brian Callahan and Brian Johnson.
Battle the Bryans.
Battle of the Bryans. I think they go with Callahan. Fuck it, why not? Brian Callahan in Tennessee.
Oh,
I
you
like
stole
that.
mine, and I'm agreeing with you. I like Callahan. They're a staple of the
Okay.
McVay system. And you know what the prototype quarterback of the McVay system is? It's Will Levis. Liam Cohen's going to put in a good word, and I could see Liam Cohen being the OC for the Titans next year. Is he at the Rams right now? Is he still OC at Rams?
I think he's
Because that
with the
might
Rams, yeah.
complicate things. As
Mhm.
OC, though.
That's
But he's not a play caller. He's not a play caller.
true. Liam Cohn, he is the offense coordinator and quarterbacks coach, but yes, he is not a play caller.
So since he's not a play caller, would it technically be a promotion? And they could hire him and not be blocked?
True. But would Callahan want to call his own plays? Because he never got to do that in Cincinnati.
That's a good point. I think you know what? Fuck it. I'm changing my mind. They're hiring Liam Cohen. They're hiring Liam Cohen.
They're hiring Liam Cohn as the
Yep.
coach? Okay.
Yep. Relationship with Levis.
Because
Either
no one else made
right
it, that will not get counted as your one change because you made it before we moved on to the
before we
next
moved
team.
on. Okay.
Yeah. So I won't count that for you.
I
But okay.
respect that.
There we go. I think is that the first one where we're all no, we're also all different across the board on Carolina. So, okay.
It was
Sweet.
a bit of a callback for me, last second callback. So wait,
Last
that's
second
not a name
callback.
on here. They got a good relationship. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So got Slovic, Callahan, and Cohen. That's deep cut there, but I like it.
Oh yeah,
And then lastly, the Commanders, where Rob gets to lead this one off.
they're definitely gonna go for a splash. I could see this as the other landing point for Harbaugh. You know, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a new ownership group.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be an interesting one. They were offensive or defensive before with Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they don't even have an interview with Eric Bieniemy. That's tough.
Yeah.
But I understand wanting to get away from the old regime. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna say Belichick near Annapolis. Have I said Belichick yet?
Nope, that's Belichick for you the first time. And Daniel, you have not picked Belichick anywhere yet, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, I haven't picked Belichick or Harbaugh. So with
Or Harbaugh,
Washington,
yeah.
those were the two I was thinking about because, like Rob said, and I agree, the owners are new and they want to make a splash. They want to get the fans on board because the commies have been a crusty ass franchise for a long time, thanks to
They
our
need
boy.
to. Are they gonna change their name again? They should.
They probably will, but
It
not
should
right
be
away.
Hogs. They gotta go Hogs.
On it, yeah, something like that. I feel like it makes sense with their history, right? Anyway,
Awesome name
well,
too.
you know what? I'm feeling frisky, guys. I'm gonna make the most shot in the dark kind of prediction. I think Harbaugh is gonna get the money he wants from
Ooh.
Washington's owners because they are not going to be cheap like Dean Spanos. And Jim Harbaugh will go to Washington, and Bill Belichick will take at least a year off.
There we go.
I
There we
think I
go.
think Harbaugh's from the DC area.
Let's confirm there. Let's confirm. Um, I thought he was from Ohio. So
I think he lived at least some
Potato,
time in the
potato.
DC area. Yeah, East Coast
he
doesn't matter.
he was born, I mean, he was born in Toledo.
I
Let's
heard
see.
somewhere said it was closer to home or like closer to family or something.
Harrisburg.
His brother's coaching in
Harrisburg, Wood
Baltimore.
County, Ohio, which is like northwest Ohio by the Michigan-Ohio border.
Toledo's
I
big.
must have been misled. Maybe his like family like his old family lives there or something. I don't know. Or maybe it is about John.
Mhm.
It would be pretty cool them both being in the DC area.
Yeah, the
You know?
DMB. Um, I've not picked Ben Johnson to go anywhere yet. So he gets to go to the team that's going to get Drake May. So that'll be fun. See what we can do with the weapons. He's got
Wait,
his
say that one more time. Say that one more time. They're
I
getting
haven't
Drake
picked.
May, you think?
Yeah, probably. They got the second
Okay, well,
overall pick.
it could be Jaden.
Could be Jaden. That's true. That's true. He'll have his pick of the two. Or maybe he trades up and gets Caleb Williams.
That could be fun. That would be fun because it would be Caleb back home.
Or would be Caleb
Honestly,
back
do
home.
it. Honestly, do it.
Don't let the Bears fleece another team, please. They don't deserve it.
One to
So
two. I don't know how much they can get.
there we go. So to kind of go over, so I've used my change. I've used my one change already. So I got Belichick going to the Falcons, Mike McDonald going to the Panthers, Antonio Pierce going to the Raiders, Jim Harbaugh going to the Chargers, Mike Vrabel going to the Patriots, Dan Quinn going to the Seahawks, Bobby Slovic going to the Titans, and Ben Johnson going to the Commanders. Daniel, listen closely. You get to change one of these if you so choose. If you want to keep them the way they are, you can. Ben Johnson to the Falcons. Bobby Slovic to the Panthers. Antonio Pierce to the Raiders. Kellen Moore to the Chargers. Mike Vrabel to the Patriots. Dan Quinn to the Seahawks. Brian Callahan to the Titans. Jim Harbaugh to the Commanders.
Can I be chaotic as hell right now?
Yeah, by all means.
Let's hear it.
So it's like, how would the change work though? Because like I'm thinking of changing the Titans coach.
Mm-hmm. To
Right.
if you want to like flip a couple
You can
around,
do a
you
swap. You
can.
can do
You can do a
swaps.
swap
Thing is,
or
so
no,
here's the idea. I don't know
you
if
tell
this
me
is
what
gonna
the
count.
change you tell me what you want the change to be
And the board can approve it. The board
and
can
the board
approve
can
it.
approve it.
So Bo, you were saying Slovak to the Titans, right?
You
So I'm also,
have I have Slovak to the Titans,
so
yeah.
I'm also thinking I'm thinking Slovak to the Titans, which means the Panthers need a coach.
You're thinking
Bill Belichick's
Belichick?
going to the Panthers, man.
I'll
Fuck it.
approve it. I'll approve it.
Fuck
I
it.
like it.
Because and the only reason I say that, if Bill Belichick does this, it means he's still got that ego that has got him 6 Super Bowls. And he wants to prove that he can do it with any franchise.
I like it.
There we
Screw it.
go. There we
Why not?
go.
That,
So
that's
we
good.
both have Bill Belichick going to the NFC South then. So that's fun. That's fun.
Mm.
All right. So there you go. There's Daniel's change. And then sorry, Brian Callahan, you're staying in Cincinnati. And then Rob. So we got Ben Johnson to the Falcons, Dave Canales to the Panthers, Antonio Pierce to the Raiders, Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. Let's see.
Vrabel.
Vrabel, yeah, Vrabel to the Patriots. I got lost there. Quinn to the Seahawks. Liam Cohen to the
I got some
Titans.
bold ones, man.
And Bill Belichick to the commies.
Let's ride. I'm riding with my
You riding?
picks.
All right, there you go.
Let it ride. I got some bold
Finalized.
ones as I live my life
I
boldly.
love it. I love it. Well,
Um, well, that was fun.
sweet. Well, here we go, boys. Well, last piece of the
Last
pod,
order of
of
business.
course, is going over wild card picks and there's some good games. So there's a couple. Actually, I was thinking a couple different ways we could do this. So we could say I won the regular season and do a separate
Uh,
thing for the playoffs, or we could just keep it going. The only reason I even thought about that first one as an option, because I know Rob wouldn't love it, is so that Daniel could, be a part of the standings as well going forward.
here's what I think. The
Yeah.
season goes through the Super Bowl. It doesn't end at the regular season. We're doing picks for the season.
All
However,
right.
Daniel is welcome to have playoff picks
How about that? Yeah.
and
Okay.
see how
So
he
we'll
and see
we'll
how he judges and how we all compete together. But the season isn't over, my friend. Not so
so.
fast, my friend.
That's so fast, my friend. Okay, so let
It's
me
over for
get
two
these
teams.
going here. So let me write this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So we got Cleveland, Houston, we got Miami, KC, we got who we got? Who's the next? Oh yeah, Pittsburgh, Buffalo.
Are you guys gonna
I can
stay up for the wake up for the Kalen DeBoer radio segment tomorrow morning?
I
Suppose he's
wasn't
going on
planning
the
on it.
radio at 8 a.m.
Uh Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Then we got Green Bay, Dallas. We have, let's see, who's after Green Bay, Dallas? That's LA, Detroit, and then last but not least, well, actually last but least, Philly, Tampa. Okay, perfect. So we'll hop in here. Browns, Texans to start. Me and yeah, well, that's what we'll do. We'll have a separate competition for playoffs, but then we'll also keep in mind how me and Rob compare, and then just remember that I have a +3 lead right now.
Yeah, that'll
Um,
be easy. That'll be easy.
So starting with Browns, Texans. Browns going in as 2.5 point favorites. Sorry. Going into Houston, take on CJ Stroud and the Texans. Um, what I want to do for this to decide who goes first is spin the wheel, just totally random. We're doing
Okay,
it
sure.
random that way. And what we'll do here, Beau, Daniel, Rob, we'll spin it all through three
Oh, I don't
times,
want to
so
be
we'll
yellow.
all
I don't
have.
want to be yellow.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, here's what we'll do. So we each have, two things on the board here. Sorry, Rob, you have one yellow. Sorry.
I don't want to be yellow. I'm kidding. I was just being stupid.
So
All right,
we'll
spin it.
start.
Spin that wheel.
First one goes to, looks like it's gonna be me.
Oh,
All right, I'm gonna lead off the first one. So,
And then we find the next order.
oh yeah, true. Actually, that's a good
And then we
point
just
here.
snake. Yeah, we snake.
And then we'll just snake. Yeah. So we'll snake from here. So actually, that's what we'll do here. We'll spin until we get
Whoa, whoa,
Rob.
whoa, whoa. Oh yeah, that's fine.
Oh, we
Ah,
Rob. Okay,
this
so we'll
close one.
go me, Rob, Daniel, then Daniel, Rob, me, and so forth. So,
Wait, no, should we snake or should we just go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Should go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
well, if you do that, then I'd be leading off every single time.
No, 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 no,
Snake, man.
no, no, no. No, we. You lead off first. I lead off second. Daniel leads off third. Then you lead off first. Then you lead off fourth. I lead off fifth. Daniel leads off sixth. Here, let's just start, and I'll show you how.
Let's keep it going, and then it'll make sense. It'll make sense. But starting anyway. So starting, it's gonna be me, Rob, Daniel, and then we'll go. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, so
Yeah,
but
we're
anyways,
we're complicating it. We're
we're
complicating.
complicating it. So basically, Browns Texans. Okay, so Browns going into NRG. They hosted a big game on Monday, actually. Unfortunately,
Not enough bathrooms.
not enough bathrooms. Well,
Stadium was nice otherwise, though. It was really dark. Really dark.
it's a tough one. Both these teams. I think the Browns are playing really good football right now. Texans barely squeaked by. As much as I hate to say it, give me the Browns in this one.
Um, I'm gonna go Browns as well, and this is because it's tough. Rookie quarterbacks don't usually do too great in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be back next year with better pieces. They should try and get Brian Burns. Man, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. Daniel?
Most rookie quarterbacks struggle, but I think CJ Stroud is him. I think Cleveland's gonna win, but I think Texans cover.
All right,
Hmm.
there we go. I like that. Texans plus 2.5. Sweet. So we're going down to Kansas City now, or sorry, going up to Kansas City from Houston, where the Chiefs are 3.5 point favorites taking on the Dolphins. Rob, what was your idea for who goes first in this one
I go
then?
first.
Okay, you go first now. Okay, and then would it be Daniel and then me?
Yep.
Okay, so kind of cycle through then. So
Yes,
whoever's
exactly.
first becomes last. Okay, I got you. Okay, let's go. So, yep, go ahead,
Yeah.
Rob.
All right. Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs. Who won this matchup in season?
Chiefs won by a touchdown, but it was in London.
Yeah, that's right. That was a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a really tough one. It's in Kansas City. What's the forecast looking like?
Yeah, this is the
-2.
fun part. It's like with wind chill, it's like negative 35 degrees.
Give me the Dolphins to win. Not to to cover.
Really?
To cover. Give me the Dolphins.
Okay.
Better running game.
Okay. I like
And
that.
the all white uniforms are gonna look pretty cool. Oh, it's not during the day. Dang it.
It's a night game, yeah.
I was hoping morning.
It's a Peacock game, man. It's on
What?
Peacock.
I do
Yeah.
have the cock. I do have the cock.
The other cock. That's good. That's good. Everyone should have a
Not on
cock.
Peacock. It's on the cock. Come on, man.
All right, go ahead, Daniel.
I think I'm gonna take Kansas City.
All right. All right. I'm also going to take Kansas City because I don't think the Dolphins are going to be able to fry very well in negative 35-degree weather.
That's
I
true. They
can't.
are from Southeast.
Yeah. So
I just based it on running game.
that's fair. And I see where you're coming from with that, but Chiefs defense is good and are accustomed to playing in that kind of weather.
That's true. Damn it,
Good.
I'm gonna lose another one.
We'll see. We'll see. So we got Steelers going to Buffalo. There is a winter storm warning going
Oh,
on in
that should be a
Buffalo.
rough one, man.
So, Bills 10-point favorites at home here. Let you take it away, Daniel.
Dude, I feel like -10's a lot, no?
There's a lot.
I
No
feel like
TJ.
that is a good point. I forgot about that. Yeah, honestly, yeah, give me Buffalo with the points. I was thinking Pittsburgh would maybe keep it close, but
But Minka will be coming back for this game.
yeah. I feel like Buffalo though, like the last few years in the wild card round, like they take advantage of their matchups pretty well.
Mhm.
Like
I agree. I'm also
they've had a
taking
lot of two
Buffalo.
v sevens. They've done well in those. I think Bills
Hmm.
will take points.
I agree. I'm also taking Buffalo here. Mason Rudolph's the starting quarterback for the Steelers.
Oh,
That's all
this
I
is a
need to
tough
hear.
one. This is a tough one because 10 is just a lot for the playoffs. But no TJ and Mason Rudolph. I'm gonna go Bills here. That's not a good team, man.
Hmm. There we go. Daniel's two
Oh,
favorite teams.
matchup between esteemed
Oh
NFC
yeah,
franchise, the best NFC franchises.
of course.
The Cowboys, 7.5 point favorites in this game. I'm leading off with this one. Taking on Jordan Love and the Packers. Um, I'm not going to pick the Packers to win this game, but I'm going to pick them to cover. I, there's gonna be some fucking chaos in this game. This is a Sunday afternoon wild card game. This is Fox's game. I think this is the one. Of course, it's Packers Cowboys. Fox's two favorite teams. Um, there's gonna be some crazy shit that happens in this game. So give me the Packers to cover. Although I do think the Packers or the Cowboys, I mean, win.
Um, I'm gonna agree. 7.5 is a lot against a team that has a quarterback. Um, so give me seven. Give me the Packers with the points.
Yep, give
Mr.
me the Noble
Daniel,
Club with the points.
Noble Club with the points, not the Krupp Club.
Nope.
Fair enough. All
Club
right.
will win, but Noble Club will lose by less than 7 points or 7.5.
There we go then. So we got Rams, Lions. Actually, Rob, you or would you be willing to trade the
Yeah, of
first
course, of
pick with it
course.
for this one? Okay. All right. So there you go. Let Daniel, you're leading this one off. Lions 3.5 point favorites
Oh
at
man,
home against their old quarterback,
I'm so
Matthew
excited for this
Stafford,
game.
coming back to town. How you feeling?
I'm stoked. I wanted this matchup for the last couple weeks, and I got it. This is the most storybook playoff game you could possibly get. This is the beauty of the NFL, guys. You have the most talented athletes in the world at their sport, and you also get the entertainment factor. The Packers Cowboys narrative, for example, that's a good one. The Noble Club and the Corrupt Club, they always meet each other. Two biggest fan bases. This one is even
The
more so.
most deserving teams.
Oh, of course. The most deserving teams. And of course, yeah, it's like, yeah, you get it. You get it, Rob. Anyway, this game, you want to talk about narratives, bro? You cannot get better than this, man. Matthew Stafford against his old team, Jared Goff versus Sean McVay. That's one that's not talked about as much, but going that way, man, that's a nice one. But anyway, lads, it is written in the stars that the Lions will win this game. They will win their first playoff game since Barry Sanders' Lions killed the Dallas Cowboys in 1991. Score of that game was 38-6.
Oh man.
It is not going to be 38-6 against the Rams. In fact, I think the Rams cover, but the Lions do
Mhm.
win.
I like it. I like it. And you know what? I agree. As far as I think the Rams cover, but the Lions win.
Lions roll. They're gonna cover.
There we
That's gonna be
go.
That's the spirit.
a crazy Ford Field.
I love it. I love it. And then last one here, and then Rob leads with this one. I'll go Rob, Daniel, myself.
Oh, this is a
Eagles,
tough one, man. This is a
3 point
tough
favorites
one.
going into Raymond James Stadium. Um, wasn't too long ago they were lifting the banner in Raymond James Stadium, and now they got a new quarterback leading them into the postseason.
All right. I need to remember what their game was like earlier in the season.
We played in week 3. I can pull it up for you. The Eagles did win, but it was when the Eagles were playing much better than they are
Yeah,
now. Um, and it was a closer game than the 25-11 suggests it was.
I remember that too. It's a real tough one because I don't think the Bucks are playing their best ball either. They
Huh.
beat the Panthers 9-0.
Hmm.
Can you pull up the Bucks for me? I want to see their past scores.
Yeah.
This is a really tough one.
Here we go. Here we go. If you'd looked at, I mean, Panthers, this stretch right here, they were looking pretty good. And then Saints, they lost, and Panthers, they barely beat.
And then, man, I'm really torn on this one. I really am. All right, let's go back to the spread. I just don't think the Bucks are that good, but it's a home playoff game, so I mean, did they arrest starters last week?
In
The
Tampa?
Eagles? The
No,
Eagles.
they didn't. They didn't.
Eagles
And
were
they got
fine.
Hurts got
embarrassed by
hurt.
the Giants.
They did not rest starters, and Hurts got hurt, and they got embarrassed by the Giants. Yes.
Bucks are going to cover. Tough pick, home game. It's happened way too many times, though. Home playoff game really means something.
Hmm. Daniel.
This game's gonna suck,
Ooh,
man.
why did they give this one on Monday?
I
This one
don't.
sucks.
This should have been the Peacock game, man. Like
This
This
should have
should have
been the
been the
Peacock
Peacock
game.
game.
this matchup sucks, dude. I don't. Here, my only thinking for this game is they're both pretty average teams right now. I just think Philly's a lot more talented still. I know Philly's been bad. I know Matt Patricia's their de facto defensive coordinator right now. But I just think Philly, they have enough talent to get by in this game. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Philly's going to cover. They're going to win this game and cover. They're probably going to get absolutely bulldozed in the second round by, whoever they play. But I will take Philly in this game.
There you go.
I've just seen this story so many times, It just bad teams with the home playoff game continuously win. It's really weird.
Hmm. I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The reason being, and while yes, Rob, you're right, bad teams with the home playoff game win a lot of the times. Bad teams on the road in the playoffs rarely win. And guess what the Eagles are right now? A bad team.
Yeah,
So
no, they're on fraud watch for sure.
fraud watch, man. They are wearing the fraud crown right now. So yeah. That
That
that kind of
is
gives you an idea. That's that, though. So just to kind of track our differences, Rob, between the two of us, our only differences this week are Chiefs Dolphins. I have the Chiefs covering, you have the Dolphins. And then Rams Lions. You said the
hmm
Lions roll. I've got the Rams covering in that one. So um again, I'll no matter what, I'll be up after this week, but you could reduce the lead to a +1 for myself.
Woohoo.
And we'll be tracking the standings as we go through the playoffs for our own separate competition as well. So there you go. Well, that was a fun episode. It was a
It
crazy episode, a
was.
busy episode, a long episode, but a fun episode.
Lots
So
of things to take care of.
yeah. Any
Oh,
any
yeah.
closing thought? Yeah, this is the first NFL episode you've been on in a few weeks, Rob. So welcome back. Excited to have you
It's
back.
it's been it's been a journey. I got a lot of highlights for the CFB episode.
Yep, for sure. Daniel, Rob. Well, actually, I'll start. Daniel, any closing thoughts as we go into what is a sure to be a fun wild card Sunday for you?
Go Lions, man. I'm so excited for this game. I'm pumped. Ford Field's going to be rocking. I'm excited to hear the fans. I'm excited to see what the defense can do against Matt Stafford. I'm hoping we get a few picks on him, maybe get a pick six in there. Hopefully, Jared Goff can, avenge his time with McVay and get a win over him. I think he's written the stars, man. I think they're going to win this game. I think we're finally going to get that playoff win, and it's going to be rocking, dude. Guys
I
like Dan
love it.
Campbell hopefully are going to go down in history as like, really good coach for this team, possibly a legend. Looking forward to seeing Amon Ra play. And you know what, man? Go Lions.
I
I'm
love it.
so excited for this game, dude.
I love it. Rob?
We're all rooting for you, Daniel. We really are. We really
Mhm.
hope you guys get that playoff win.
You're carrying the rest of the pod the rest of the way. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
you
just rooting
are.
for it because it's another cat team, honestly. That's
Hmm.
it. There's a certain brotherhood that comes with being another cat team.
Oh, yeah.
So, as Tom Grossi likes to say, kitty goes meow. He goes meow. But that'll do it. That'll do it for this again long but busy and very fun episode of the West Coast Draft Podcast. As always, thanks to you, Daniel. Thank you for Rob for joining us this evening. Rob, would you like to sign us off as always?
If one of us beats the Rams, all of us beat the Rams. If one of us click like, all of us click like. If one of us subscribe, all of us subscribe. Thanks for watching.